Hey there, slutties, it's Sammie, and I got some news for you. The inaugural Exotica Minneapolis is taking over the Minneapolis Convention Center June 26th through the 28th, and trust me, this one is coming in loud, proud, and absolutely unforgettable. Step inside a full-blown playground of pleasure, curiosity, and connection. Jaw-dropping live stage shows that keep your eyes glued and your pulse racing. Eye-opening seminars where you might just learn something deliciously new. And of course, an interactive dungeon built for exploration with consent and boundaries always front and center. And of course, the chance to meet your favorite adult stars, adult legends, and creators up close and personal. And yes, as always with Exotica, the staple of the convention that we love so much, Ladies Free Friday. So grab your crew, make it a night, and let it spiral into stories you'll be telling months from now. Lock in your tickets before they disappear at exoticaexpo.com. Can't wait to see you at Exotica.
No need to knock, the door's unlocked. Come on in, let's have some fun. We'll make it hot, won't wanna stop. Slide on into Suburban Slut. No need to knock, the door's unlocked. Come on in, let's have some fun. We'll make it hot, won't wanna stop. Slide on into Suburban Slut.
Alright, let's fucking switch me on and let's switch it up. Hey there, slutties, and welcome to another episode of the Suburban Slut Podcast, your home for kinkery, for sluttery, for fuckery, and everything in between. Welcome to the neighborhood. Don't be shy. Come on in. Shoes off, pants off, inhibitions at the door. I am your content creator's favorite host, the Pharaoh Delight himself, SammieSwitch. So, why don't you slide on in and let's get a little slutty, shall we? Welcome to the continuation of Slut Summer 26. It is the second week of Pride, and of course we have so much gay goodness, so much queer delicacies, delights. The LGBTQIA plus rainbow is in full fucking effect. But before we get into the show, let's get the good old plugs, the sponsors, the people that help make this show possible. Let's give them a little love, and then we'll get into some fun. What do you say? How can you support the show and grow the neighborhood? Well, like finds like, and this is where you can find other slutties supporting the show. Of course, for your Suburban Slut Podcast branded merchandise, you can go over to Suburban dash, it's the line, like the line going straight across, I don't know, I say dash. Suburban-slut-podcast.myspreadshop.com. If you want tank tops, if you want tote bags, who the fuck doesn't love a tote bag? Yeah, head over there. The logo is there to be placed on several fun items. I've not gotten an official dildo yet. Yet is the key word. Spreadshop doesn't have that technology yet. Again, yet the key word. So maybe someday there'll be Suburban Slut Purple Dildo you can slide on in yourself. And we're just going to leave that at that. Of course, over at Fancy, you can follow me at SammieSwitch and OnlyFans at SammieSwitch, the number 4, the letter U. The Content Palooza, I'm really jumping in head first. As you can see on the socials, I've just joined a Chicago content shoot house. So right now I have Kansas City. I have, Chicago. Also Miami. Florida with my favorite little gremlin, fucking Professor Bella Bear and Remedy. Oh my god, I can't wait to see them again. And I could swear there's another one. What? Hold on. Everyone, calm down. What are we missing here? Where's my app? Oh, duh. Kansas City Shoot House, the Florida Shoot House, Exotica, New Jersey. There will be a New Jersey Shoot House, and of course Chicago. 4 shoots. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put the work in, put the effort in, and see where this can go. So stay tuned. Follow me on those platforms. Right now, it's free to subscribe. So it costs $0 to even just give me a follow, subscribe. Eventually down the road, I'm aiming probably after the summer when I have much more slutty goodies. That's when the membership will change to a small nominal fee. I know my worth, but yes, sometimes I do go on sale. So stick around for more on that. And of course, the good old staples. Find us on Instagram, Suburban Slut Podcast, on X/Twitter at Suburban Slut Pod. Of course, there's the link tree if you want to send tips, buy gifts, find links to things. Duh, it's called a link tree. I'm sorry. Full disclosure, it is fucking brutal in my apartment today. I'm going to get into some more sluttery coming up, but right now, it's like 90 degrees, and in my bedroom, the AC unit is broken. And, of course, I have to close the door because otherwise you don't get the sultry, buttery audio of me talking directly to you. And I do have a fan on, but that fan ain't doing shit right now. So, Daddy Sammie is sitting here sweating, and we're going to push through because I want to make sure I get this recorded and, of course, make all my boys, girls, theys, thems happy, happy, happy. Sidebar over. Thank you. So yes, Linktree to find links to our sponsors, to find our discount codes, all that stuff. And of course on FetLife, SammieSwitch. That's where if you want to get to know me a little more personally with the kinks, head on over there. On Facebook is SammieSwitch and the podcast page, Suburban Slut Podcast. YouTube, yes. Y'all have been blowing up the YouTube, so definitely making more of that thing. I have so many more videos coming up on there. Shout out to my favorite Queen Bee. Her video alone has like 400 fucking views, and I know that sounds stupid, but this is just a fun queer podcast, and the fact that she was able to help draw that much attention, my girl, mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you so much, baby. Love you. I can't wait to have you back on the show soon. And of course, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening to this now, that's where you can find us, obviously, because you found us. So. And of course, most importantly, I say this every week, I want to hear from you. Email, thoughts, confessions, questions, comments on segments, comments on interviews or topics. Send those to suburbanslutpodcast@gmail.com. I will gladly read those on air and give you a shout out. And the cost is free $99. There's no fees. I know some shows and whatnot charge like a Patreon or stuff to get your emails read on the show. I will simply charge you to have a good day. If you send me an email, it will get read on the show. So there you go. Sponsors of the show, we're at the halfway mark. So if we're running a marathon, well, this is the halfway mark. It's the same fucking thing. That was a stupid analogy on my part. Any hoozles. Exotica Minneapolis is coming June 26th to 28th for the first time ever in Minneapolis. So please head over to www.exoticaexpo.com to get your tickets. Ladies, free Fridays, VIP tickets available, standard tickets available. Of course, it's Pride Month. It's the first time in Minneapolis. The Spark community is coming out in full effect, pun intended. So please make sure to go get your tickets today and check out that amazing convention. And there's so many people that have been on the show, friends of the show that are going to be attending. So we're wishing love and luck to all of them. And again, sadly, we will not be there this year. I'm hoping next year we can come back and really make the second coming just as good as the first coming. So What else? We have Love Ends, the best vibes you can get in and out of the bedroom. What's better than sneaky vibes, making you quiver and squirm? It's getting $10 off your purchase, thanks to the Suburban Slut Podcast. Remember that link tree I was mentioning? Yeah, go there, find the Love Ends link, click it, boom, $10 off just for you. You're welcome. STD Hero, and of course, knowing your status is so fucking important nowadays in 2026. We try to praise being responsible and safe slutties here on the show. I love you all. But yes, in 2026, there is no excuse not to know your status. It's not just for your health. It's for your partner's health. It's for your friend's health. It's for everyone's health. It's being a good, responsible slutty. So make sure to head over to mybls.com, order an STD Hero kit that fits your needs. And of course, it's discreet. It's private. The normal turnaround time is 2 business days with the prepaid envelope inside the package. And of course, one more time, code SUBURBAN for 10% off your order. Stay safe, stay informed, stay slutty. Well, what do you want to talk about? So come on in, shut the door behind you. Let's get this evening going, shall we? So tonight's episode, we have so much to talk about. Daddy Sammie went a little cuckoo with interviews and content, so right now I currently am backlogged. So to everyone I have interviewed recently, thank you for your patience. I don't want to over-cram episodes just to get content out, because quality over quantity. So I will always try my best to make sure there's not more than 2 segments an episode. We've listened to some shows where it's, 3, 4 things, and you're just like, oh my God, why was this on one episode? You guys got to split this up. So I will always make sure to not overstimulate you. It's my responsibility not to overstimulate. I want to stimulate you just enough. I want to get you very close, make sure you're having a wonderful time, and I never want to do too much or overstimulate. So there we go. Tonight's episode, we have a special announcement and a special partner for this week. I have the absolute pleasure of working directly with the Aurora, Illinois Pride community. And yes, I always have to say Illinois because unfortunately there's also Aurora, Colorado, and we quite frequently get mixed up. So, Aurora Pride, they are on Facebook. Like I said, make sure it is Illinois. Let me tell you a little bit about them, and let me tell you about the events coming up for Pride. And it's actually, as this episode drops Tuesday, it's going to be this upcoming weekend. So if you are in the Aurora, Illinois area, the burbs, if you're within driving distance of Aurora, Illinois, get this on your calendar, make time, make space, come through for one of the best Pride events in Illinois, period. Fight me on it. Well, no, put your face. I didn't mean like actually fight, like it was like saying like how good it is. So, Aurora Pride, founded in 2019, is a 501c3 organization whose mission is to promote LGBTQ plus acceptance and community in Aurora. We have our origins as part of Indivisible Aurora, but are now an independent organization. Our primary projects are the Aurora Pride Parade and educational activities. Since our inaugural parade in 2018, we have seen several other towns in the suburbs follow suit and start hosting their own events. Very true. Geneva, St. Charles, Elgin, even Woodstock, right down the street. Great, great Pride events. But one of the things Aurora Pride is known for is creating a family-friendly environment. Yes, in the sidebar, yes, we love to be gay. Yes, we love to be queer. My daughter has asked to go to Chicago's Pride, and I've just straight up told them, I'm like, sweetheart, there's a lot of skin and a lot of bulges I'm not sure you're quite ready for. So shout out to Aurora for keeping it family friendly, because yes, sometimes it can be hard to find family friendly queer events, and Aurora puts family first. So shout out to them for making that space. Aurora thinks it is very important for queer youth to feel welcomed at age-appropriate events to celebrate themselves or a loved one. For many youth, it's the first time they feel part of the community. There's no better way to celebrate queer joy than to gather together in times like these and, show love and support to one another. So again, that's another huge thing. Yes, we love to be audacious and have crazy, slutty fun, but we also do have to sometimes take a step back and realize, hey, there's kids out there that might be confused or scared or just need someone to talk to. And Aurora does an amazing job of including the youth community within the LGBTQ plus community because it is one family. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, I got a little choked up there. But, so what you want? Do you want to do something? You want to hang out? Here you go. So the events under the Pride Aurora umbrella this year include, oh my God, this is so awesome. And unfortunately, I'm not able to make this event this Saturday. So slutties, if you're in the area, please come out to the Aurora Skate Center, 5 p.m. The Aurora 88s Roller Derby event is this Saturday, June 13th. Those are some amazing humans, females, non-binary, trans, however you identify. The Aurora 88s are a roller derby. Oh boy, can't talk. That might have been a heat stroke. If you hear a loud thud and silence, that means, send help. But the Aurora 88s, a true roller derby team, fucking badasses. They have been around for so long. If you're in the area, please come out and check them out. Saturday, June 13th, Aurora Skate Center at 5 p.m. Now, Saturday, June 13th, Pride at the Plaza takes place. This is at 6 p.m. It's at Millennium Plaza, downtown Aurora. So this is the event where if you want to come, walk around, check out booths, vendors, all that fun jazz. That's also the 13th. So it's right after the skate event. So you see 5 p.m. skate, 6 p.m. Millennium Plaza. Boom. You have a great Saturday lined up for you. And also, of course, what's Pride without a parade? Sunday, June 14th, Aurora Pride Parade, 12 p.m. downtown Aurora at the portions of Broadway and Downer. Of course, come. Who doesn't love a fucking Pride Parade? We put on, I'm sorry, but the LGBTQIA plus community puts on the best parades hands down. It's just what we do. And of course, if you want, stick around because there is an official after party. We cannot have a queer event without afters. Hello, this is what we do. So if you're into that sort of thing, you can head on over to Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, 2 p.m. It's $10 a ticket, and discounts are online, of course. So you can go over there to get a discount on your afters tickets. And what else? So I know that's a lot. Thank you for Aurora Pride reaching out. Thank you for including me and giving me the opportunity to help promote and boost your events. I spoke directly to Megan. She is amazing. Can't wait to hear more from her and everything. So there will be more updates coming soon, of course. What else? Oh, sorry, I gotta go back up. I had a very long script for this week's episode, so please bear with me. Also, sidebar, Megan has also invited me to come check out Lover's Playground. Now, for those that have been in the Aurora area or the burbs, we might have known the store as Denmark 2 back in the day, but now Lover's Playground has moved in. They've done some great updating in the store, and I will be coming down to check out the store myself very shortly. So definitely stay tuned for that review. Really excited. I've not been to the location. I know I'm going to date myself. Don't laugh at me, boys, girls, ladies, but like the early 2000s. For me, it was a little bit of a drive, but it was always a fun time to be like, hey, you want to go to the adult store? Let's head on over there. What do you say? So yes, stay tuned for that. I'm not pulling up the website that I was supposed to add in there, so sorry. Yes, so for those discount tickets, it's simply aurorapride.org. Or, of course, you can find more information on their Facebook page as well. So, Thank you, Aurora Pride. Come out, show your pride, support the community, support the youth, and come out and have some fun. All right, so for this week's show, we have a few things. So, continuing my gay journey. Last week, I divulged my first transsexual experience. This week, I'm going to divulge my first gay experience. And this is why I made a post on the socials. I realized that all my first gay experiences came from AOL chat rooms. So, if your parents ever said back in the day, if you're old enough, AOL's going to turn you gay. Well, kind of did, but in the best way possible. So, we are going to talk about that. I also have one of my favorite fucking human beings. We met at Exotica, and Holly Schaffner. I'm dehydrated, Holly. Please don't be mad at me. So yeah, Holly Schaffner and we sat down and talked about her company, Sweetly Sassy Toys. That's going to be coming up here shortly, so stay tuned for that. And I don't know if this made the cut, so I'm going to say it now. I've been looking for a good wand. I lost the wand in the divorce. I need one because they're so much fun. And, of course, excuse me, Holly was like, hey, I sell sex toys. I can hook you up. Like, what are you looking for? Tell me what you're looking for. And I told her my biggest thing that I cannot stand is that wands have a gold ring on them. I hate the fucking color gold with a passion. I hate it. We spent so much time texting back and forth. Hitachi, if you're listening, LaWand, if you're listening, stop putting gold on your fucking wands. Nobody likes it. Silver is the way to go. Everyone loves silver. It's a great color. It's neutral. Gold is just blech. So hopefully if they're listening, we can make some change. But yes, me and Holly were searching and searching and searching. Lo and behold, shout out to one of the best. Leigh Wand does have some. So LaWand, shout out to you. Mwah. Thank you. But it looks like Lovense is entering the wand market, and their new wand has no gold ring. So hopefully we'll have a review of that item soon. So stay tuned for my interview with Holly. She is amazing, lovely, such personality. Great person to talk to. And also, I have Dr. Elliott, my friend. Dr. Elliott is coming on to the show. We are talking about firm tech and his great products and the science behind it. Its medical advancement and technology is insane, and Dr. Elliott is at the forefront of that. So stay tuned for Dr. Elliott. But first, I'm going to switch it up this week. Let's go into my first. So, I gave a little warning last week. The statute of limitations has expired. So it's safe to say this now, but I'm going to be honest with you about my story. So, forewarning. I was about 16 and on AOL chat rooms, of course. And, I can't pinpoint what awoke my attraction to men. There wasn't really like a aha moment for me. But I do remember somehow stumbling in, and in AOL chat rooms, you could put in literally anything and either start a chat room or find a chat room. So don't tell me, I don't know how, but somehow I stumbled upon Chicago Male for Male. And I started looking for a man to play with. And yes, I was 16. Yes, I was a minor. It was the 90s. Ugh, times were so different. So, and I couldn't remember the guy's name to save the life of me, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm looking around, and, good old ASL, age, sex, location. I was 18, male, Geneva. And I was, back then I was a fat boy. I was very overweight. So, of course, I'm saying, stocky is my body type. But I connected with someone from Tinley Park, you're not familiar with Illinois, that's like a good hour away. And we started talking, and I said to him, I would love to come play with you if we can make that work. I don't drive. Can you pick me up? Because unfortunately, I did not drive at the time. So the whole rigmarole was, I told him, I didn't tell him my address because, very closet. No, it was not going to happen. There was a side street by my house called Chandler. And I told this guy, I'm just going to name him Joe because it's the most like generic name, Joe Boy. So I told Joe Boy, yeah, if you want to pick me up on Chandler Street, I can walk up and down the street in a blue suit coat. Yeah, I had a bright blue suit coat. I don't know why I thought that would be something to wear to get picked up with for sex. Times were weird. I was weird. So, but anyways, he agreed. And I was like, okay. And of course, this was before like smartphones, all that stuff. We still had pagers and like old ass phones. So I told him like, pick me up 7 o'clock, Chandler Street. And I still remember to this day walking out of the house and my mom going, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to my friend's house. I'll be back in the morning, Toodaloo. I love my mom. She was very, very, very easygoing. Love my mother still to this day. She's amazing. She's awesome. Any hoozles. So here's me walking up and down the street in a blue suit coat, waiting for some guy to pick me up. And again, this was such stranger danger. No pictures, no variable information. Didn't know his address. Didn't know his phone number. Again, 90s, wild fucking times. Yes, this is to show you how wild it was. I could have been murdered so many times just looking for dick. Oh. So Joe Boy comes up and he picks me up. He's in a car. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And we start driving back to Tinley Park. I am nervous as balls. I've never slept with a man at this point. I know I was really into dick and I really wanted to play with some dick. So we drive all the way to his place in Tinley Park. I remember we go into his basement and he puts on this random like gay porn. He's in tighty whities. We're sitting next to each other. And it's something about it. I still remember the smell. Not in a bad way, but just the smell of another man. It's so hard to explain, but if I try, I could sit here and definitely like, yep, that's his smell. Oh my God, I remember it. So I very, very nervously, oh, that'll work. I put my hand on his penis under his tighty whities, and it was the first time I felt someone else's penis. I fucking loved it. It was so, oh my God, it was everything I had hoped for. It was such an awakening for me. Like, yeah, this is what I've been missing in my life. At 16, mind you. And he was like late 30s, early 40s. So we just started rubbing, and I just remember, it was a long time ago, so, almost 30 years. Oh my God, it is 30 years because I'm 46 now. Oh my God. Fucked up. Okay, that was just a mind fuck. So I remember one point he laid me down and he was kissing me and he was giving me oral. I remember him pinching my nipples really fucking hard to the point where they were bleeding. I had scabs the next day. I was so in the moment and like in my head I wasn't like aware and just I had no idea. But I remember him pinching my nipples really hard. My memory is fuzzy. I don't he must have came at some point. And again, fuzzy memory. Somehow he went upstairs to bed. I stayed on the couch or something like that. I don't remember. Here's where it gets fucked up. 16-year-old Sammie is now sitting there realizing like, shit, I want to go home. I'm an hour from home. Oh my God. And I just fucking spiraled so hard. I got so panicked in my head. 16-year-old me thought, oh, I'll just walk over to that Jewel and just, tell the police I got kidnapped or picked up. That's how bad I was panicking. Never mind thinking the consequences that would have done to this poor guy. Never mind the consequences it would have done to me. Like, I would have been outed real quick. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I was just really scared. And I just wanted to go home. And again, it wasn't anything about the experience. It wasn't anything about Joe Boy. It was just me, my first time. And then it was almost like there was no aftercare. I was just kind of, I don't remember why, but I stayed downstairs on the couch. So I go upstairs and I tell Joe Boy, I wake him up. I'm like, hey, can you take me home? I'm so sorry to wake you up. And I was terrified to wake him up, because again, I'm panicking. He's like, oh, just come back in bed. I'm like, no, I'd really just like to go home if you can take me home. And he did get dressed. He said, okay. And I remember pulling up at 5 a.m. And it was a very quiet drive home. I think I might have even fallen asleep because I don't remember much talking. And of course, there's my mom at the kitchen table with the blinds open, eating her breakfast because she started work so early. And I'm just like, okay, thanks for the ride. And I get out and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get to the basement. I just want to go to bed. Oh, I need to process everything that's happened. And I walk in, my mom's like, oh, what are you doing up so? Or I'm like, oh, I couldn't sleep at my friend's house, so his dad dropped me off. And I went downstairs and immediately went to bed. So, in a nutshell, that is my first gay experience. It was very illegal at the time. Very wrong of me to lie about my age and jeopardize someone. Yes. But again, 90s were wild. 80s were even more fucking crazy. So that's how we did. It's like when we tell kids nowadays, of course we wore helmets when we rode bikes and skateboard. No, we never fucking wore helmets. Come on. So that was my first gay experience. And here I am today. Countless dicks have been in my mouth and hand and ass, and I still enjoy it very much. And again, I would not change a thing about it. That was my experience. That was my truth. And it helped me make who I am today. So we have gone over my first transsexual experience. We have gone over my first gay experience. I'm going to do some thinking and bring up more. There's 2 more weeks of Pride, so I'm going to bring up 2 more first experiences on the show. So I hope these are enjoying. I hope you're loving them. I hope you love my AOL Turned Me Gay post because I'm hilarious. I can't help it. Oh, funny fact. My slut muffin, Leanne Steele. Y'all know her. She's been on the show. She's amazing. I love her so much. We were talking the other day, speaking of gay, and of course that's my girl. I don't know how we got on the topic, but it was something about if only something about being gay. And we were talking about someone, and I'm sorry we don't remember who it was, but it was a very attractive man. And Leanne's like, yeah, that's one person I might bend my gay rule for. And don't forget, you're also included in that. And I was like, girl, me? Leanne made my fucking day. The fact that this queer slut biscuit, she may bend the rules for someday. So it made my day. And I love Leanne. Oh, she's coming back on the show. I'm coming on her show soon. We are definitely hooking up for some fucking chaos in New Jersey. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So just shout out to Leanne as always. But without further ado, it is time to give some sex toy talk with Holly from Sweetly Sassy Toys. And before I forget, because I did forget and had to text her and ask her, stay tuned for a little special promotion after the interview. But without further ado, I give to you Holly from Sweetly Sassy Toys. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Holly from Sweetly Sassy Toys. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. And now we are, let's see, we were supposed to start at 10 a.m., right? I think
Yes.
it's
Central
10:40.
Time. Yep. Yeah.
Don't use Central Time. That's not going to get you out of this. So we're going to break the fourth wall. So we were just talking this week about how people cancel last minute and it drives us both crazy. And how I always check in like 2 days before, like, hey, are we still good? Do you need to reschedule? You know, try and get the cart behind the horse. And this morning, I'm like, I think I need to mess with Holly. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, I got my Zoom up and everything. And here is what I sent you. So, slutties, this is a little behind the scenes fun just for you guys. So I said, you will never believe this. My dog that I don't have got bit by a super albino raccoon and had to be taken in for observation at the nation's best vet clinic in Rhode Island. Guess we have to reschedule last minute smiley face. Or no, jokey face. Jokey face. Sorry, let me make sure I get the jokey face. And to be honest, I read your response and I thought you got the joke. And of course, that's on me because I know sometimes my jokes can be subtle, which is something I've tried to work on. And you responded, oh, is he okay? And no worries, I'll go back to sleep. Hope he's okay. And I gave the laughing emoji. I'm like, okay, she got the joke. She's funny like me. We got this. And so I start the Zoom and your otter AI jumps in. I'm like, oh, hey, Holly. Holly, you there? Oh, it wants me. So then I start researching Otter AI because it's asking me for permissions and this stuff. 10 minutes in, if you go back and look at your Otter AI, I just had a full blown conversation. We talked about you. We talked about how you're always late. I sang like 7 different songs. So what I didn't know is you thought I was being dead ass serious.
I was. In my defense, though, I had literally just woken up and I missed the dog that I don't have. My
Right.
husband
That
always
was the
says
part
you
I'm
have
like,
to read
wait.
every word of the email or text, and I missed that.
And see, and I was
So
tired too
yes.
because I saw your response. I'm like, oh, they got it. I just assume everyone knows everything about me that I don't have a dog. So that's I'm like, oh yeah, she'll get this. We've never had that fucking conversation before, but just that's the way my brain works. Like we're old
Yeah.
friends. We talked about it at Exotica, I'm sure, pets and kids and all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I sometimes can be super gullible, and yep, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So my apologies, but yeah,
No,
we'll
my
have to
God.
make sure that albino dog or that albino raccoon.
Right?
Well, then I was thinking about it. I was like, well, but I thought he lived in Illinois.
Yep.
And okay, well, maybe he's traveling. And in my mind's like, something's not adding up. And then you called me, and I was like,
Right.
oh, yeah, what's not adding up, dumbass, is that you weren't paying, you missed the joke.
No, so it's 100% on me, but we have this amazing fucking
No.
story now. So I'm for
Yep,
it.
I'm truly blonde. So now whenever we see each other, it's going to be like, hey, how's that
How's the
albino
dog?
raccoon doing?
Yep. I kept him. I just, domesticated him now. So,
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
so let's jump right on in.
Yep.
So, for the boys, girls, theys, thems that may not be familiar, who is
Yep.
Holly Schaffner and what is Sweetly Sassy Toys for Adults all about?
So, Sweetly Sassy Toys, I'm a woman-owned sexual health and wellness company. I've made it my life's mission to ensure that people have the expertise, the body safe, specially curated products that I've selected to be able to play and explore and just have fun getting to know themselves and their body and what they do and don't like. I have a partnership with the education branch of my business where, we provide educational resources, intimacy guidance. It's very pleasure focused, helping individuals and couples. I am a certified sex and kink informed consultant, educator,
Oh, okay.
along with being a relationship and intimacy coach. So I got my certifications through the Sexual Health Alliance. They're a fabulous organization. And for my kink training, I've trained with people like Midori. Your listeners
Yeah.
absolutely know who Midori is. I love her to pieces. She is amazing. Started training with her a long time ago. And I've been in the adult industry for about, over 20 years now.
Wow.
And got into kink. It's actually kind of a funny story how I got into kink, but it was through my now top. She brought me into it about 10 years ago. And it's been a great learning, a great experience. And then something that I went, okay, I need to add this as education. What I see out there, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's something that more education, more resources around just sex education in general, intimacy and kink. And it's just, I love it. I love it. And I specialize in ENM and CNM, peripost-menopause, responsible kink, obviously. And then, any type of intimacy, reconnecting with yourself, learning yourself. If you don't know, the number of women that haven't had orgasms just astounds me.
It's shocking.
It really is. And
I thought it was normal.
Right? What do you mean I'm supposed to have that? So I like to blend everything, everything I've learned over 20 years with what's actually going on in the world now. And then, make it fun, inclusive, and have a great time. Like, let's have some fun. Sex is about fun. Kink is about, I think kink is about fun because you're playing a game, right? And that's
really
something Midori's been teaching. Yeah. So I've been learning that with her. It really is. So I guess that's sort of the long story of me.
And see, I love that because I just had Rain DeGray on, and they also mentioned about how, with education, there's so many people that use the label educator. And it's like, oh, are you certified? Or, well, no, I just took some classes.
Yeah.
Like, you just sat in and now you're educating. Like, wait, no, you got to actually do the work. And I think a lot of people aren't aware, like, you can get certified to be an actual educator in this field.
You can. And so I have my master's degree. I'm an MPH, master's in public health. So the program that I went through is, you have your sex therapist. I am not a therapist by any such sense of the imagination.
I'll talk to you, but I'm not a therapist.
Exactly. And then, so I did the one for sex educators. It's basically a 2-year, you can do it. You work through it on your own time. There's specific things you have to reach. And then there's, just like with therapists, there's an overarching governing body called ASEC. So once you're certified, then I have to go through, that process takes like another 9 months of getting your ASEC designation, which that I'm in the middle of now, but I don't necessarily have to have that because I'm not a therapist, but I'm getting it just to have that extra credential because to your point, I have talked to so many people and they're like, oh, well, I was talking to this person and I was like, well, what are their credentials? Did they go to school? And it doesn't mean every single person has to go to school, but I will tell you, in today's world, I am hearing more and more from the adult companies that they only want to work with people who have actually gone through the certifications because of, like what you said, there's just so many people that like, well, I've been doing it. Okay. But I thought I knew a lot about sex and sex education until I started my program. And then I went, oh, fuck, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know nothing. Right? See? Like there's a whole nother world out there. And just when you think you know that, you're like, oh shit, where the hell did that come from now? Now there's something else you need to learn because the program is designed to make sure you are learning and you continue learning and looking at things outside your own little box, right? You need to do that. So
now, quick bonus question, because I know I'm not the only one that has this question for sure.
Sure.
You mentioned body safe.
Yes.
And this one, I know I've never really seen someone like walk me through it. I have an idea of what it means. Like it's safe for your body, but just before we go further, I'm going to jump on that opportunity. What is body safe when it comes to sex toys?
Yeah. So body safe is you want to make sure you're getting a high quality. Don't order your sex toy off of Temu. Please
No, God,
don't order
no.
your sex toy
Fuck.
off of Temu because that's going to be a cheap plastic. It's probably going to be, well, actually, I can't use that one. It's probably going to be a plastic like something made out of this. You don't want
Yeah.
to stick this in your body, right? You
No.
want something that has gone through. So body safe, it's silicone, reputable brand. I know a lot of people go, oh, silicone. Silicone from 10 years ago is not like it is today.
God,
Companies
no.
put a lot of money and research and development into making sure that it is body safe. It has to go through certain FDA testing because it's being entered into the body sometimes. So you just want to get the high quality. Don't buy the cheap plastic toy. I
Yeah.
laugh. I don't even have any. I'm looking around to see if I even have any. And I don't have any of the
I was
cheap
going to say,
ones.
I hope you don't.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm looking. Well, sometimes I like to keep stuff just as like an example to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
don't do this. But it's, yeah, there's TPE that's out there, which is also body safe, but you want to make
Oh,
sure you're reading the labels. Like it'll tell you. So look, I have sex toys everywhere. So it'll tell you as you're reading through like what kind of testing it's gone through. Is it body safe? Like this one will tell you this one's a platinum cured. So I really love blush.
ooh,
They are
that's a gorgeous
huge.
wand.
Oh, I know. This is beautiful, right? I love it. It's
Ooh,
Diana. She is on my website, but
okay.
it's platinum cured. So they take extra steps to make sure with their testing and with everything that is going on with their products. So you want to look at the bigger names, Blush, New Sensuelle,
Mm-hmm.
Lovens, Cal
Yes,
Exotic,
Lovense.
Doc Judds. Yeah, those are bigger companies. Don't If you're going to buy from a smaller company, I'm not saying that they're not testing, that they're not doing what they need to do. Just do your research, right?
Right.
Body
Educate.
safe means when you put it in your body, you're not going to have a reaction to whatever material it is that they're using.
Okay.
You're not going to injure yourself. So if you've got the cheap plastic that's made out of the same plastic that your son's truck is made out of, or that a container of Clorox wipes is made out of, and you put that in your body, you could injure yourself. So
Oh, yeah.
that type of product is not body safe. You're either going to get an
Okay.
infection, it could crack and break. I know a lot of people like to use glass. Glass is body safe when it's created on the right circumstances.
You do not
Don't
want cheap
just
glass.
don't take a beer bottle or a Coke bottle and shove it up there. That's not body safe, right? You'd be surprised the number of people that do.
I've seen those videos. Now the problem, like, wait a minute, that
Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. But yeah, do some research, look into it.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say I've been to, out here in the burbs, there's not much, but we have a lover's
Yeah.
lane. And I
Yep.
vividly remember one time going there and I was like, oh, this toy looks cute. And I was asking questions. And she's like, yeah, you really don't want to buy this one. It's kind of cheap. You want to buy
Yep.
this one instead. And I sat there. I'm like, well, why are you selling this then? I'm like, it felt like in
Yeah.
my mind, it was like a tactic, like, oh, well, you want this, but here, let's really get you this. When in all
Yeah.
honesty, it was more about body safety, not just
When
commission. So that's what I was like, that's what
yes.
was going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And a lot of times companies like that, they're bound by what corporate decides and what the
Yeah.
buyer decides, right? And what the relationship is. And there are people that'll go, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to get the cheaper toy. Yeah, I know it's probably not the greatest, but it's what I can afford and it's what I
The
want,
budget
right?
buy. Yep.
The budget buy, exactly. It's nice to hear that they understood the product and that they understood the person standing in front of them and was like, hey, you seem like you might want to try this instead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, and those cheap toys, I mean, we've all had the next morning trying to either clean them and it's
Oh
just,
yes.
or you, like you
Cleaning
said, you
them.
start seeing cracks.
Yep.
Like, when did this break? I just bought this.
Yep,
It's like, that's
exactly.
what, there we go.
And cleaning is a big part of the body safe. If you have the cheap toy that's not going to clean well, you're just letting bacteria continually build up and build up and build up on the toy, which then causes other issues.
See?
Yep.
Love it already. All right, we're learning. One step in, we're going. So here.
All right.
So let me ask, so what pulled you into the world of sex education and pleasure products in the first place? What was your like, aha, I want to do this moment?
So it's actually kind of funny. I started back in the 90s. Yes, I was like 10 when I started. Or actually it was late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I found myself a single mom. And I was like, okay, and I was working a vanilla job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, okay, so I really need to make some extra money. What can I do that isn't going to take away a lot of time from my son? And I looked into like the Mary Kay and the Pampered Chefs. And I was like, okay, none of this is ringing with me. At the time, I didn't even know you could do sex toy parties. And one of my girlfriends was like, hey, you know, you're completely inappropriate all the time. Have you thought about selling sex toys? And I was like, do what? No, that's a job. Like I can do that. And
she's
I
like,
just
you'd
fell
be
into
perfect.
it. Yeah. And I looked into it. And at the time, passion parties was big. Pure Romance was just getting started. Passion
Pure
parties
Romance is
was
the
big.
one I remember.
Yep, Pure Romance. They were kind of both getting started and competing at about the same time. And I went with passion parties. And my son was 2, I think, when I started kind of setting everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably about 2006. And it just kind of, when I looked into it, I went, oh my God, I love this. I totally can do this. The thing is, and I don't know, a lot of people probably know this with passion parties and Pure Romance, is that they take 70% of your money.
Wow.
So if I
didn't know it was that much.
If I sell this for $100 to you, I'm only getting 30 of it. Well, my little smart brain in the back of my mind after about 6 months went, I have a master's degree. I can run a business, clearly.
Oh.
Fuck passion parties. I'm going to go out and do this on my own.
I want my 70%,
so,
motherfucker.
I want my money. Like I'm the one doing all the work. Yes, I get it. You have the website, you're sending me the products. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But still, exactly. So I'm like, nah, screw that. And now in 2006, I don't know the demographics of a lot of your listeners, but the internet was not what it is today. It's not like you can just go on today and start Googling, I need a sex toy distributor. How do I find that? Right. Mm-hmm. So I was able to find a company that would work with me. And so I started my own company about 6 months in and never looked back. I don't have, and I never did have people working for me, but that was kind of my moment of, and in my very first party, I show up and it was the best party ever. Not from, I don't even remember what the sales were. It was being able to communicate with these women, having women come up to me and feel comfortable enough. Now, remember, this is, mid 2000s. So come up to me and be comfortable enough and go, I've never had an orgasm and I've been married for 20 years. And having to keep the look of shock and dismay off my face while I'm having this conversation of, okay, let's talk about this.
Let's change your life.
Let's change your life. Getting her there and then seeing this person again a couple weeks later and getting the message of, hey, I just have to tell you, thank you. I just had my first orgasm and it was amazing. I cried. I mean, I get goosebumps. Like you can't see, but I get goosebumps just
to give that to someone.
It was amazing. Wow. And I was like, this, yes. And I get to talk about sex all the time. Right. I did keep my vanilla job, but I kept growing this. Right. Because I had to be able to, selling sex toys is great. And I did get to a point where I was making really good money doing it. So yeah, it was just being able to educate and talk to people and have that, oh my God, I'm actually helping people.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, COVID hit, killed anything party related. Right.
Yep.
So I'm originally from Chicago. I think I told you that. So I started all this in Chicago. Well, I live in Ohio now. So when I moved to Ohio, a lot of my home party I sold that part of my Chicago business to another home party
Oh.
person. And then in Ohio, the internet, it was, I think I moved here in 2012.
Mhm.
So internet's starting to get a little better. Websites are, starting to where you can build them and that. And then COVID hits, right? COVID
Yep.
destroys everything. And that's my next aha moment. And there's a reason why I'm kind of going through this. My next aha moment was I had another business that I had a brick and mortar store. And I was like, you know what? After COVID, I was
Yeah.
done. I sold the brick and mortar store and was like, okay, I'm good. And I'm like, what do I want to really, really do? And my husband's
Mhm.
like, you really like educating. You really like talking about this with women. Why
Yeah.
don't you take the next steps and just go back to school, get your official certifications and designations?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. And it's been great because now people come up that I don't even know and they know what I do. And they're like, can I talk to you for a minute? I have some questions.
Yeah, can you come over here real quick? Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. For me, that's my aha moment in that I'm helping this person have an orgasm, have the tough conversation, learn something about themselves. I mean,
Mhm.
who doesn't want to be able to help people like that, right? And maybe
Yeah.
help is the right word. I want that woman or that guy or that couple or whatever. I want them screaming in the throes of whatever they define as their passion and then coming back to me and going, girl,
We
thank you.
leveled up.
We totally leveled up. Yes.
There you go.
So that it started with the very first one. And I still remember her face. I still remember the conversation.
Aw.
I still get goosebumps. And I just remember her just grabbing me, the next time I saw her. And she's like, after she called me, she's like, thank you. Like, I can't even begin to tell you thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I made that happen. I might not have been in the room literally, but oh my God, I made that happen. I helped
Right.
somebody. Right. So yeah, there you
That's
go. That was my
amazing.
moment. Yeah.
Right.
It's yeah, for me, it was very much a wow.
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah.
like that that's not helping. It's, like I said, like leveling up, that was the only thing I could think of where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
it's nothing you're doing wrong. Cause a lot of times that's what it can come off as like, oh, fuck, I'm doing
Yep.
something wrong. It's like,
Yep.
no, but let me help you level up. There you go.
Yeah. You're not doing it wrong.
Right.
You just need to level up. Yep. I
Yeah.
like that. I'm gonna, yeah, I like that. I might steal that from you, just so you know.
Yeah, it's all yours. You're good. So now the name, your name I
Yes.
love because Sweetly Sassy feels like a personality. Of course, getting to know you, I'm like, all right, now this fucking makes sense. But for people
Yep.
that don't know you, how did that
Yeah.
name come to life?
So it's kind of funny. My name for my sex toy company has kind of changed over the years, and when I wanted to move it into the more official education, I knew I needed to start developing that brand
Mm.
because this is my brand now moving forward. I want to take it worldwide. Um, so I wanted to do something fun and kitschy. Now, for
Yeah.
those in the kink community, I'm a brat, in case you haven't
Mm.
figured that out.
Checks out.
So yep. Yeah, the more you get to know me, the more
I
brattiness
see
you'll
it.
see. So for me, I wanted something that kind of came across. I thought about using the word brat in there. And I was like, oh, that's a little
Mm.
too much, right? And we were talking, my husband and son and I, we were talking about something and they were trying to help me brainstorm names. And I said, well, but I can be sweet. And my husband goes,
True.
yeah, when you're
Can
not being
be.
sassy or bratty. And I was like, oh, sweetly
Oh,
sassy. And I go, sweet sass, sweet sassy, sweet. I'm like, sweetly sassy. And he's like,
wow.
yeah. So, but he's like, no, you're always being a brat or you're always being sassy. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I am. So that's how it kind of came about. It's the play on the fact that I'm the brat without directly saying I'm the brat. I'm sweetly sassy. And if you know a brat, of course we're sweet. Forget the
Fantastic.
sassy, right? And then I can do fun stuff like call people sassholes and stuff like that.
That one I love. That's a Sasshole.
Yeah.
Okay, I could get behind that.
Yep. Yep.
And see, yeah, that's why I love being creative with another person because it's
Yep.
those moments that are just like honestly accidental. And it's like, wait,
Yeah.
what'd you just say? Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out some names this week, and it's just me sitting here, like, looking at my phone. I'm like, no, no. But yeah, when you have,
Yeah.
especially someone that's supportive and behind
Yeah.
you like that, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I
So
am
does he?
truly blessed. My husband has been incredibly supportive. We met and married, well, we met in 2011 and married in 2012.
Mhm.
And he has just been incredibly, incredibly supportive from day one on all my crazy ideas. So I am truly, truly blessed. I know not everybody gets that.
Yeah.
But he's my lobster for my friends' references. If you're a
Oh,
Friends fan, he's my lobster.
right.
So yeah, he's a good guy.
So is he at parties like, hey, you know that name? That
Yeah.
was me. I helped with that. It's like,
No, but
sure.
he does say he loves going to all the conventions and all the events with me. That these are more fun.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, hey, we got a new toy. Somebody, not this one, but like somebody sent me a toy we need to try out. And this is a male masturbator. So I'll be like, here, honey, I need you to try it. And then he'll be like, okay.
Take
And he's
notes.
like, oh, here's what I thought of it. Here's what I'm not. No, this one's brand new. So it's never been tried, but just to give you the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, oh no, I love this. Like, this is fabulous. I love this. So yeah, he
See?
has fun.
Yeah. Male masturbators are fun. My biggest thing is like, and the same thing with sex toys. Like, there's the small one, like the $5, the $10 one
Yep.
that's horrible to clean. But
Yep.
then you see the ones that are like over $100 that has like, it'll wash your shirt
Yep.
while you're masturbating. It'll tell you your
Make your breakfast.
it blows my fucking mind. I'm like, the world we live in, this is amazing. The technology that goes into strokers blows my mind.
Yep. Yeah. Savcom, which is one of the, it's SVAKOM, is
Mhm.
one of the brands that I love and carry, and they do a lot of male masturbators.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was just talking with one of their trainers, and they're just coming out with a new masturbator line. And I was showing
Ooh.
it to my husband. It has handles on both
Yeah.
sides, and
Like a
you
fucking
put it on.
jackhammer.
Right? You put it on. Sorry, this is my demo dick. You put it on, and then you're
Mhm.
just like with both hands, like going at it. Right. So
Wow.
it's
That's
it's
like the angry masturbation, like you're mad at your
that's
dick. Like,
like
I'm
the
gonna.
angry. It like sucks, it twirls, it heats, it does all this stuff. So they're sending me a sample of it. So I'm really excited.
You're
I'm
like,
excited to
honey, you get
see
to try
it.
this.
I'm like, yeah, honey, guess what you get to try? And the toys that are tried are not the toys that I use for demos. So
Of
everybody can
course.
understand that there's different things there. So yeah. So yeah, masturbators, toys in general. I do a whole thing on, Vibes Buzz, and I forget what I've titled it, but I have a whole thing that I do on the evolution of sex toys and sex tech,
Oh, cool.
that I'm going to be recording, and then I'll put up on one of my channels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah. I get the upload backlog. It's like, oh, I got all this stuff to do, but I
Yeah.
just kind of want to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work behind the
Go
scenes. A
back to
lot of
bed.
people, yeah. So now a lot of people, they do still get awkward talking about pleasure. Obviously not us, but there's people out
Yeah.
there. So especially in the more suburban spaces like where I'm at, what do you think holds people back the most, even in this day and age where, it's 2026, things are a lot more out there and visible?
Yeah. So I honestly, I think it's the fear of being judged or shamed,
Mm,
about what they like or
okay.
what they want, even inside of a couple, right? I have friends that have been married forever, and I'll be chatting with them, and I'm like, why aren't you guys having this conversation? And they're like, well, I'm worried he'll think this, or I'm worried she'll think that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, she gave birth to your kid. You saw her hoo-ha with a with a human coming out of
Right.
it. How is talking about you want to get tied up or you want to get spanked?
Yeah. Or pegging.
Why are you worried about, or pegging? Why are you
Yeah.
worried about that? So I think it's really the biggest thing is the fear of being judged or shamed
Yeah.
because of their wants. People have been raised not to talk about it. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was growing up, my mom, thankfully, was very much I'm a Gen Xer. So I grew up in the time where, you got the 10 o'clock, do you know where your kids are? But at the
Right.
same time, she's like, I don't need a teenage pregnancy. Let's have the conversation. This is where babies come from. I still remember that conversation and pulling out the big book back when they still had encyclopedias. They don't have
Oh,
those anymore, right?
the
The big old
Britannicas.
encyclopedia,
Yep.
right? So thankfully, my mom had those conversations with me. When I was 16, she took me to buy my first sex toy, right? So it was kind of
Wow.
relationship that we had. People don't have that.
No.
Was it the greatest? No. Did she want to know? No. But the majority of the population is so raised to not talk about it. And sex ed in the schools is atrocious.
Oh yeah.
My son, when he went through it, it was in 5th grade. He said the teacher just gave him deodorant and said, make sure you guys take enough showers and here's condoms.
Yep. Here's condoms.
I'm
Don't forget
like,
that.
what? I'm like, that's it?
There's a whole nother side, the
There's a
pleasure side, at least
whole another
like a
side.
cliff note about, hey, it's okay
Yeah.
to touch yourself. Nope.
Yep.
Still to
And
this
I
day.
think too, some of it is, the porn industry. I love porn, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
I
Fuck yeah.
think a lot of people are like, oh, it's supposed to be like porn, and I'm not going to be like porn, so
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
want to
get two
ask for
girls to
that
do this.
because, yeah, or, I don't have a 10-inch, dong, that I can fuck somebody
I
with.
relate. Yep.
So, how am I going to go to my wife and say, hey, or my girlfriend or my boyfriend and say, hey, how am I going to, I want to do this, but I'm not as big as this guy we just watched in this porn.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's a lot of, they have to fit this mold. They have to either fit into what they've seen on TV or social media. Don't even get me started on that one with the
Nope. Nope.
trad
Nope.
wife. Oh, the trad wife. I have to be perfect. I can't ask for anything. I have to do exactly what he wants. So I
Ugh.
think it's just in the suburbs in general. Yeah, there are places, California, Oregon, Denver, they're very much more open. Chicago, I think, is much more open as well. I
Yeah.
haven't
And then
been
you
there in a
start
number of
trickling
years.
outwards, and
But
it's
when you start getting out into, like you said, the more suburban areas, it's very much, well, this is how I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to act. Teachers who did OnlyFans to make some extra money and then parents
yep.
got pissed off. It's like, okay, who cares? She posted some pictures. Who cares?
Yeah.
If you're mad that your husband was watching it, that's a conversation between you and your husband. So I think
Mm-hmm.
all of that adds to that shame of, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I don't, there's that stigma. And it's weird, to your point, why it's still around in today's day and age. But
Yeah.
unfortunately it is, between Hollywood, politics, just general social media, and then the lack of education around it and trying to educate people is also difficult because
Yeah.
we're a banned industry. Anybody in this industry knows we're a banned industry. We can't post, the positive stuff we're trying to get out there to help counter that. It gets banned, it gets shadow banned,
No, it's
it
just
gets
porn.
taken
Block it.
down. Yep. Facebook has become even more ridiculous. In anything I post educational, they're like, nope, banned.
Yep.
Okay. So, I think it's just the fear and not being able to talk about it more openly.
Yeah. I love that. Very amazingly
Yeah.
well said. Yeah. And then, like you said, it's your partner. I mean, I get it. When I came out to my partner many, many years ago, I was like, hey, just so you know, I like penis. Just penis in general. It's great. And she's like, yeah, I had an idea. I'm like, oh, I wasn't aware. And then once we had that conversation, completely different relationship. I felt validated. I felt seen. We
That's awesome.
bought a strap on, all that stuff just from, but I get that it's hard,
Yeah.
even 2026 to be like, hey, I want to talk about something sexual.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And at that moment, are you feeling judged?
Mhm.
When you're wanting to have that conversation with your spouse, it's like, crap, is she going to be like, ew, what the fuck's wrong with you? Or
Right.
is she going to be like, yeah, I kind of knew. I was just waiting for you to come to me and tell me,
Mm-hmm.
which she did, thankfully, which is great.
Yeah.
But in your mind leading up to that conversation, I can imagine what was going on in the war you were having with yourself. And okay, this is either going to go okay or this is going to go really bad. But at least you
Mm-hmm.
were brave enough and had that conversation. So,
Yeah.
yay.
I know. I love it. I think for the cis men, of course, it's the ever, daunting fear of, I'm not gay. She's going to think I'm gay. It's like, dude, everyone's a little gay at this point. It's 2026. Everyone's a little gay.
Yep.
It's who's
Anybody who
really
watches
straight
porn,
nowadays. Yeah.
yeah, anybody who's watching porn with male, female, whether you realize it or not, you're watching the porn.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see a guy with a dick this big, fucking some hot
You want the
brunette with
big
big
dick.
boobs.
You
You
want to
want the
watch him
big dick
come
going in and out of
everything.
there.
See?
There's a comedian who makes a joke about that too. He's like, you may not think you're gay, but do you really want to watch somebody with a small dick fucking a hot girl? No, you
Right.
want him to have a giant schlong while he's doing her. So you're slightly.
Yeah. So as a sex educator, I know there's probably a plethora from this, but what are the most common myths or misconceptions you're constantly busting? You're like,
Oh,
how much time do we have?
there really is. So the biggest one I always hear, and I always hear it from the guys, is sex toys will replace me.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring,
I can't
I don't
go
want to
2
bring this
hours.
into the room. Yeah, I don't want to bring this into the room because then she's not going to want anything to do with me. That's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It's an enhancement. And that's the one I always say it's teamwork. It's not a tryout. It's
Ooh,
the
yeah.
two of you together making sure you're both getting your pleasure. And some women need a little bit more, right? Some men need a little bit more. So no, but sex toys will replace me is always a good one. Another one is that people that are in the lifestyle, and as you know, my husband and I are in the lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
E&M, CNM, we just want to be cheaters. People that are in the lifestyle
Right.
just want to cheat. Please,
Nope.
for fuck's sakes, no.
God.
Are there some that are like that? Probably, but it's a
Yeah.
very, very, very small percentage.
Minute amount. Yeah.
It's very minute amount. And I've had tons of conversations around this with vanillas as well as with other lifestyle people, and just what has been said, the conceptions. I always hear the ew. People think in the lifestyle it's just like Hollywood, right? So you watch the Hollywood movie, they walk into the sex club, and it's all
You just
the
pick and
most
choose.
beautiful people, and people just walk up to you and are like, yeah, and there's big orgy puppy piles. That's not how the lifestyle is.
No.
So because of that, people are like, oh, well, all you do is fuck everybody and lay down and do gangbangs. And no,
sometimes,
that's not
but
it. Sometimes, right? I
to be
equate
fair.
the lifestyle as you're dating, but now you're dating as a couple to find another
Yeah.
couple, right? And people don't realize that. So, especially the vanillas, they just go, ew, right? So that's a big one. Another one is that sex ends at peri and post menopause. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
That's
No,
still...
it does the fuck not
Wow.
end. I just did a presentation in January here in Ohio on women's intimacy peri post menopause. And the number of women that said, well, when I talked to my mom, when I talked to my grandma, they said, oh, your sex life's over. Just deal with it. And these are women that are talking to me that are in their 40s, because perimenopause can start as early as your 30s, right? And no, you're not crazy. This is totally 100% fucking normal. There are ways to deal with it. No, your sex life doesn't end. So that's another one. There's not enough education around that. There's not enough knowledge that no, your sex life doesn't end just because you're post menopause or post hysterectomy. Now it's just what I call it is it's your permission era. You're in the era now where you give yourself permission to have the pleasure.
Yeah.
And we can find that for you. So that's another big one that really bugs the crackerjacks out of me. Another one is kink is actually abuse, or it's abusive.
Okay.
Those
I still
in
have
the
heard that every now
community,
and then. I'm like,
it's abuse. I hear
No,
that a lot.
I like
And
that,
as a
and I would
brat,
like that.
yes. As a brat, I can tell you, there are people in the community that like what I have to help. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. What I have to
Mhm.
help educate people who aren't in the kink community is that people inside the kink community actually communicate 1,000% better
Yes.
than those outside the community. And the reason is because we have to talk about every fucking thing that's
Hmm.
going to happen between
Before,
us
yeah.
before the scene or the game even starts. So if you're hitting me because I told you it was okay. If I'm
Exactly.
hitting you, or if I'm whipping you, or even taking it outside that context, it's if I'm degrading you, and I have people say, "Oh, I don't want to be degraded like that." Well,
Oh.
okay, that's great for you. That's not all that kink is.
Hmm.
They've had that conversation. That's what that person asked for,
Yeah.
right? That person asked to be kicked in the nuts that hard. That person,
Whew.
with me, I don't like stingy. I prefer a thuddy.
Thuddy.
Um,
Yep.
I prefer a thuddy, but and my husband will laugh, I have a higher pain tolerance than a lot of people. So my top, I trust her,
Hmm.
she'll know. I'll be like, take me to a 10. She'll get me to an 8. And she knows me so well now. She's like, your body's telling me you're done. Right.
Yep.
Because we have
Reading the
that
signs
relationship.
and
That's
everything.
not
Yeah.
abuse. I'll have
No.
marks all over me. I love my marks. I wear them with pride.
Hell yeah.
Don't judge someone because of that. That's not abuse. That's what I asked for. So that's what someone else asked for. So that is the biggest, even inside the lifestyle community, it's,
Hmm.
oh man, he just beat the crap out of her, or she just beat the crap out of him and left marks and bruised him. That's abuse. Like, no, like, come on, people, you're inside the community, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, let's have this conversation. Now, is there a fine line if you safe word out and your partner, your dom doesn't stop? Yes, then it's a different
Of
story.
course.
But from a vanilla perspective, what I hear all the time is that kink is abuse. It's abusive. It's controlling. It's anything and everything you see Hollywood try to tell you that it is, but it's really not. For those of us
Hmm.
that live in that world, that educate in that world, we know that's not how it really
Right.
is. Um, and then, just your other normals, sex, pain during sex is normal. Why do I need lube? If I was really
Oh,
turned
the
on,
lube
if my
shame.
body
Yep.
was, oh, the lube shaming. And there's actually a creator that's pushing a product
Oh.
and for lube, and I get it. I I understand she's trying to sell a lube, but at the same time she's lube shaming up until she gets to the
Oh.
product she's repping. And I have issues with
Ugh.
that, right?
Yeah.
Because I get it. You're trying to sell your particular product, but at the same time, don't lube shame. And lube
Right.
shaming, no, everybody needs it, whether you're 20 or 80. And
Yeah.
and lube is not bad. Pick a good lube. I don't care what it is. There's nothing wrong with it. Use it. So lube shaming is a big thing that, in case you haven't figured out, is also another
Oh
it's
yeah.
another trigger for me when people are like, well, my husband said that if he really
I
turned me on, I
shouldn't
didn't
need
need
lube.
lube.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need the lube. So he doesn't like it when I have to use it. He gets mad and, oh my God. Or my partner, when, we're doing something and I want to put some lube on, or I want him to put some, no, 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 don't do that. Right.
Hmm.
That's don't lube shame.
Right. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
We don't kink shame, don't lube shame.
Don't kink shame. Don't
Everybody
yuck
gets
somebody else's
dry.
yum. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't
See.
fuck for 2 hours and not get dry.
Oh God.
It's not, yeah. Those porn stars, they're using lube. I'll guarantee it.
Oh
They're
yeah.
they're fucking for so long, they're using lube. I'll guarantee it. I
Yeah,
know a
that's
number of them, and they're all like, nope, we just keep the big bottles of lube around.
yeah, just get a little dab and
Yep,
okay.
yep,
And
yep,
action.
yep. Exactly. That's exactly it.
See, so when someone is brand new, because we've been talking a lot about the nervous people, the newbies, as we
Yep.
can say, um, how do you guide them in choosing their first toy? Because I feel like this can be a whole like experience in itself
Yes.
with a newbie.
Yes. So I love newbies, by the way, and here's
Hmm.
why. because they don't come in with any preconceived notions. They don't go, oh, no, rabbits don't work for me. Or, oh, the clit stimulators, they don't work for me. I have toys everywhere, so I can grab something up. Everything's within arm's reach.
Yeah.
So I love newbies. And when I'm talking with somebody, and it happens a lot, as soon as I tell people I'm a sex educator and I, educate and have the sex toys, they're like, oh, I've never had a sex toy. I've never needed one. Okay, well, you don't need it, but what makes you say that? So I try to approach it, or if they like, oh, I want to get my first one because I think it'll be fun. Okay, let's have the conversation. And typically, it's funny. I need to come up with my mistress name. So if you're listeners, I'm totally open after hearing this, if they can come up with some fun mistress names. Someone made the joke that I should be called Mistress Mary Poppins. Now, Disney would have an issue with that because I always have something in my bag. So when somebody comes up and starts talking to me and I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you a question. And I'll pull out a vibrator and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to hold this against you. And this one's going to be a little buzzy. Do you like the buzzy? Does that bother you if I'm holding it against your arm? Does that turn you on? And then I'll have one that's more rumbly. Do you like one that is, how does this feel? So I kind of go through that whole process. And then it's like, okay, do you know where your G-spot is? Have you ever had a G-spot orgasm? Because then that starts telling me where I need to, what kind of sex do you and your partner have? Are you straight, what I'm going to call vanilla, but I am not kink shaming? Nope. Are you straight missionary, right? Is he always on top? Do you get on top? All that makes a difference in the type of toy that I'm going to recommend. How big is your partner? Oh, you've never had a male partner. That is different. Have you ever had a strap on? Have you ever had anything penis shaped in your vagina? All of that. So I have a very in-depth conversation with people. If they're in person, if it's online, then I have to kind of do it. Do you have one of those, electronic toothbrushes that's kind of similar, that's very buzzy? Would you like that on your hoo-ha? If not, then okay, let's look at something that's a little bit more rumbly for you, right? So it's a very in-depth, let's have this conversation. I don't do the one size fits all, right? I'm not just going to say, okay, here's a wand. Yeah, you want this, right? No, I'm going to be right. And it's not, can I sell you the most expensive thing? No. If I think that $40 rabbit is going to be perfect for you, that is what I'm going to sell you. Yeah. That's what I'm going to write. And you don't even have to buy it from me. I don't care. I wish you would, but I don't care. If you go, well, I need to think about this some more. Okay, fine. If you have more questions, reach out to me. I will gladly help you. So that's really kind of how I approach it. And I really like what I do. I get to talk about sex and toys all the time, right? So yeah, that's how I approach that education and helping them get their first toy. Yeah, and I've not steered anybody wrong yet. I haven't had anybody come back and go, I hated that toy.
Oh, I see
what I've heard is, I love that toy. I'm ready for the next level.
Yeah.
What could you recommend now that would be the next level above this toy, right? Because I don't think a lot of people realize that, toys are in levels, right? If you've never had a sex toy, I'm not going to recommend a vibrator that's, this big around. I'm going to start you off small and work your way up,
and
right?
You don't need lube.
If you've never had anal or you've never pegged, I'm not going to start you off on an anal plug that's, this big.
I'm going to parking cone.
That's the start. Exactly. I'm going to start you off on the little guy and get you, working on your trainers and go from there. So yeah. And then work up to the vibrators. And then, for men who like, to wear the anal plugs all day, you kind of build up to that. For the prostate care and that sort of stuff. So you're working up to it, and that to work up to it, you have to have the conversation. Sorry, I got a little
Exactly.
sidetracked. I apologize. We started talking
No.
about toys. My brain immediately went to like 10 different toys
Right.
that I could be recommending right now.
No, we are definitely a side quest podcast. It's amazing.
Yes.
Everyone that's on, it's like, wait, what were we talking about? Shit.
Yeah.
So with speaking of toys, so is there any trends right now that you're excited about or even side eyeing a little like, I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah. So what I'm excited about actually is a lot of the sex tech that's coming out. So as someone who's been in the industry for, over 20 years, I have gone from watching them be the plug-in. I've had this guy probably for 20 years. He's my demo dick. I've had him since I started
demo
doing home
dick, yep.
parties. He's my demo dick. He takes batteries, right?
Old school.
You don't see
Yep.
that anymore, right? This is old
No.
school. So I remember when they started out as plugins and battery operated. Like you'd have it plugged into the wall, you'd have this giant plug or something plugged into the back of the vibrator. So you had to make sure you were there, to battery operated, to rechargeable batteries, to a now better rechargeable battery. This one now, instead of plugging it in, it's got like little
magnet.
The little magnets, you set it on there. To now we're into sex tech where I'm here in Ohio. My husband is, oh crap, what state is my husband in now? My husband's in Indiana.
You forgot.
Well, he travels. So my
Island.
husband, he with the albino raccoon hunting him down. He travels a ton. So the sex tech has been great because I can be here wearing a toy and he can have the masturbator wherever he's at. We log into an app and then we can FaceTime with each other and we can control each other's toys. So he can control, how fast or slow my vibrator is going, and I can control how fast or slow his masturbator is going. It's fabulous. That for me, I love that. Will we keep growing? Yes. My side eye and where it keeps growing is I am not into the dolls. I'm sorry.
No, we don't yuck yums, but just for me,
I do not yuck somebody else's yum, but I grew up in the era of the Twilight Zones with dolls coming to life.
Yes.
And the Chucky era of dolls coming to life and murdering you and clowns coming to life and murdering you. So when I see these dolls, all I think of is, oh my God, they're going to murder me in my sleep.
You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and it's standing over you like, yep.
Yeah. So I'm not yucking someone else's yum. Yes.
And they're extremely expensive. Like I understand putting money in a good sex toy, but some of those I've seen, I'm like, that's a car. I like sex. I'm not spending a car's amount of money on a sex toy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like the very basic models. I was just at a show in March in Vegas, and like the very basic models are like base price $20,000.
Yeah.
And then if you want to start customizing it, right? Exactly. And then you start customizing it. And some of those can get upwards of over, like you said, it's a small car. It's a salary for someone for a year. And like I said, I'm not yucking your yum if that's what you want. And that's how you want to experience your sex.
Our perspective.
But for me, that's a side eye for me. And then part of me has the Sarah Connor moment, for the Terminator fans yeah, right. Everybody loves AI unless you're Sarah Connor. That thing is going to come to life on a whole different level now. And instead of trying to murder you, is now taking over everything.
Yeah, it's fucking your neighbor behind your back.
Yes.
Sextile cheated on me.
Yeah.
Fucking Skynet.
So yeah, hopefully you can't hear my dog barking in the background. She's being a bit of a pill. So I apologize if you can.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good. Yep.
But here, so this one I have to ask with someone with so much experience. What's the one product you always recommend and one that surprises people the most?
So a good lube, an absolutely good lube. So
and
I always recommend, I love Wicked Timeless, right? I mean, I have it like right here.
Oh,
and I also love,
I know of Wicked.
Hold on, I can't find it. I probably took it because I ran out of my own. Oh, no, here it is. I just moved
Just
it.
taken from your own stash.
I do, right? So the Joe Agape
Yes,
is
Joe, I
awesome.
love.
I love System Joe, and I love Wicked's Timeless line.
That one I haven't tried.
Always absolutely love this one. It's specifically formulated for women post menopause, post hysterectomy. It has extra healthy, body safe
yes
ingredients in it to help moisturize, because post menopause, once you're there, a lot of the hoo-has get drier, not from a moisture perspective, but from just kind of like dried out skin, right? Skin down there. So I love Wicked's Timeless because they took that into account. And it's fabulous. And they have 4 different of them. This is their jelly one, which is a little bit thicker. So that I always recommend an amazing lube. I'll recommend a good bullet. I love New Sensuelle, has a great bullet. She's called Bella. I love her.
The belle of the ball.
She's yeah, I don't have, let me see, where do I have Bella around here somewhere? Nope, that's not Bella.
Hold on, let me check my shelves. Hold on.
Yep, I know. I've got Bella right here. I love Bella, and the reason why I love Bella's very soft, right?
Very
this is
bendable.
A really great silicone. It's got amazing, it feels like your hoo-ha. It's just so soft.
Wow.
Or it feels like your dick before it gets hard, like that soft, that initial soft feeling.
I can relate.
It's got such a great hand feel. I love a good bullet. I always recommend a good bullet for everybody. It doesn't have to be the New Sensuelle bullet. Bella is fabulous. I love her. A good rabbit. I know everybody's like, oh, everybody recommends a rabbit. I do, and here's why. Because 80% of women need clitoral stimulation to orgasm.
Yes.
And that's another myth. Everybody's like, oh, a woman will always orgasm vaginally. Nope, she won't. She won't.
No.
20 to 20% of women orgasm vaginally. And if you're one of them, and I used to be until I had my hysterectomy, perfect. I love you. Okay. More power to you. 80% of women need that clitoral stimulation. And having, when you're playing with yourself or with a partner, you only have so many hands and so many things that you can do at one time. Having something else tickling that clit,
bonus,
is spot on. So I always recommend that. Kegel exercises, a lot of women forget that that's a muscle down there. So you still have to exercise it. Technology for the Kegel exercises have come so far.
Yeah. Before, wasn't it just like a little egg and a weight back in the day? That was it.
Yep. It went from having just the balls.
Yes.
And I have a set of these. I use these all the time. I wear them constantly. So it's gone from this to where Love Ents is another line that I absolutely love.
Oh yes, and, big fan of Love Ents.
Love Love Ents, and I recommend them a ton. They have their Lush and Lush Minis, which is a wearable. You put it inside the vagina, but they have an app that you can go to for Kegel, and it'll help you do Kegel exercises while you're playing the app game.
I didn't know that.
I know. Isn't that, it's a newer function that they've added to the app.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. I love Love Ents. I love the branding in general. They are fabulous. So a good Kegel one. And then, for men, I really like Aneros, and I'm looking to see.
My God.
So Aneros, yes. So you're familiar with Aneros. Yep. If you've not used their products, you can start small. That's for the prostate health. And the person that I went through training with, and I'm drawing a blank right now on his name, I apologize, is fabulous. Their products are amazing. You start out slowly if you don't wear a butt plug on a daily. But one of the things that is amazing with their products is the way they're designed. You start out small. If as you start getting into it more, now obviously I don't have a prostate, but what I've heard is that as you're wearing it and you get used to wearing it more and more, you can wear them longer and longer. And then as your body starts getting used to it, and it could take a few months, you'll start having what's called a body orgasm. Yes.
Really?
Yes. So the guy that does our training for us, he's like, I had my first one after wearing it for 6 months daily. And he's like, not 24/7, right? Can't do that. But he's like wearing it. And he's like, I finally understand, some people it happens sooner. Other people, it takes a little longer. And he's like,
True.
It's like this full body, he goes, I can't describe it. He's like, but it's almost like it's like a shutter. And it's like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like, that was awesome. I don't know what that was, but I want that to happen again. Yeah. It's different than ejaculating out of the penis, right?
Yes.
He's like, it's a totally different feel. It's just like a full body, like there's just this wave that comes over your body. So we call it a bodygasm is what I've nicknamed it. So Aneros is a great product. They have, great douching, all of that sort of stuff. So it's fabulous. I love them too.
Yeah, I've tried the prostate play, and I had one partner one time somehow figure out the angle. My body's just weird. I've gone through like massive weight loss and everything, so it's kind of hard to figure out stuff.
Yep, you just got to relearn.
She hit it, and that's what it was. It was the P-spot-gasm, right? Or I mean, there's several names, but it felt like I was coming, and I looked. There was no ejaculate, but the pleasure was there. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's the G-spot orgasm for women. So now you understand.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So
hell of a difference.
Yeah, whew. I know. And then creature cocks is always fun. I don't have one in here. I should have grabbed it and brought it in, but if you know, you know. If you know a creature cock, you know a creature cock. Yeah.
I have a few. They're delightful.
Yeah.
And I think that's another one that's a big, like, when especially people that might be newer see that, like, oh my God. It's like, no. You have no idea how good a tentacle feels. Let me show you.
We have the one, it looks like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Muppets. It looks like Gonzo because they gave the balls, they put eyes on it.
Oh my God.
And they made no, which would have been fucking perfect. They missed a marketing opportunity, but my husband used it as but the nose is kind of purple, and then it moves. So it's one of the creature cocks that has a remote that moves, it vibrates and everything. Last year we went as he went as Captain Dong, and I went as Tinkerbell instead of Captain Hook, and he strapped this on, and it was freaking hilarious. But we have that one, and it's awesome. If I can find the link, I'll text it over to you, because it's one of the ones I love. So anyways, well, it's fun.
Let me ask you, so of course for the boys, girls, leys, thems that are biting at the bits to learn more and find more, where can they find you? Where can they learn from you? And maybe add a little sweet and sassy to their life. Those little sassholes.
Yeah, the little sassholes. Well, they can definitely find me on my website, sweetlysassytoys.com. And I did create a special discount code for you and your listeners. And then that can take them over to the Pleasure Professor, which is sort of my education arm. So they can find me there. I'm on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, although like I said, with Facebook lately, anything I post, even just saying, hey, I'm speaking somewhere, they've been taking me down. They shut down my Facebook, my Facebook page a few times. And I know, depending on the age of your listeners, some are going, Facebook, oldie, or whatever it is they say about us. But they can find me at Sweetly Sassy, Instagram. I have a couple of Twitter. I am not the greatest at posting, which is why I use Facebook and Instagram, because Facebook has a scheduler that I can just put stuff in. So if there's a Gen Zer out there or something that
can help out,
reach out and DM me, I'm totally down for figuring out how do we take something out and trade. I'm also speaking at a number of events. If anybody's going to Naughty in New Orleans in
Oh, yeah.
July, I am teaching a couple classes there. I'm also vending. I am then at all the Stimulates, or I'm at Stimulate in Nashville, which is an industry event. So if you're in the industry and you're listening to this and you don't know about Stimulate, hit me up, DM me, whatever, and I will give you that information. That is a great. It's turned into an amazing education piece for those of us that are more independent and we aren't part of like a Lover's Lane or a Lion's Den or a Cirilla's or one of those. People like me that, you know, we need to get more education as well. And then I met all the exoticas. Are you doing more of the exoticas? Are you doing New Jersey?
New Jersey, I just confirmed. So I was going to do Minneapolis, but stars didn't align. But yes, I will be at New Jersey this year for the first time.
Okay, so I'll be there as well.
Oh, okay.
I might want to connect with you beforehand. Have you been to New Jersey?
No.
Is this your first time?
Yep.
Okay.
They said it's very similar to Chicago. So I'm like, oh.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, Ricky told me that it's bigger than Chicago, that they get more people, and that it tends to lean more LGBTQ.
That's surprising because you think Chicago would be that way, but someone else told me that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that one, yep. So
got so excited, I knocked my computer over. Okay.
So I might actually pick your brain, knowing that you're there on some things that I'll want to take. I'm definitely, and then I'm also teaching classes at all the Exotica. So I'm doing one on, we're calling it, Ricky renamed it from my Buzz Vibes and whatever I called it to Orgasm. There's an app for that. So I'll be talking about Lovance and Spockum a lot there with their masturbators and then the tech from that aspect. And then I'm also in February next year, I'm going to be in Kansas City, Missouri for Crazy Winter Nights, speaking there as well. If anybody's interested in that, I've got to get that posted on my website. I do have a discount code if somebody wants to sign up for that. That is my first time going there. I'm working with Cole. He was also at Exotica in Chicago. So he's been really great to work with, and I'll be teaching 4 classes there, which will be exciting because one of the ones they've asked me to teach on is, I'm going to title it Unicorns, Dragons, and Bulls. Oh my.
See, and I love the dragon term. I don't like the bull term. That's just me. The unicorn, the bull. I like that.
Yeah. So the reason is, I mean, unicorn is obviously the female, the single female. Yes. The dragon is the single male, but he's bisexual. So in the lifestyle, bull and the dragon both understand the lifestyle. The difference is the dragon will have sex with both partners.
Because isn't the unicorn typically bisexual as well, right? That now I get.
Yes. And not all unicorns are bi, which is interesting.
This is true.
Right. And then the bull is the straight man who is there to help fulfill the hot wife fantasy, to do the 3-way, to, whatever it is that the couple wants, but no streams cross. No sword fighting. Nope. No sword. My husband always says, "No sword fighting, no streams, no crossing streams." For the Ghostbuster reference. Yeah, no touchy. I love that one. That's my Emperor's New Groove reference. So I'll be there, and then I'm going to be in Chicago next year as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can find me if you go on my website. I do a free 30-minute consultation. You can schedule that and talk with me via Zoom. If you're interested, absolutely do that. So yeah. And then, like I said, I did create a coupon code. It's SubSlut10, SUB, slut, SLUT 10. They'll get 10% off their orders and then free shipping over $99. So
amazing.
Yeah. And that's on the Sweetly Sassy site.
Yes.
So any of the toys or anything. And then everything I've talked about is on the site. But again, DM me, message me. If you go on my website, I have the contact us. It comes directly to me. I'm pretty much a one-woman show. I handle everything. Yeah. My husband's he likes to say his chief orgasm officer.
That's a nice title.
He travels with me when he can, but because his job requires a lot of travel, he doesn't always get to. Yeah. So yeah, that's where they can find me.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna go to that website because you keep showing that blue wand. I'm like, it is blue, right? I'm partially colorblind, but it
It
looked blue to
is,
me.
yes. Diana is awesome.
Yeah,
And
I'm
what
gonna
I
look that
like
up
about
because I need
her,
a wand.
yeah, I have a couple good wands. Diana's really good. She doesn't transfer. I'm trying to get her out. She doesn't
Oh,
transfer. So when you turn her on, you only feel it up here, which is good.
okay.
So you're not
Yeah,
feeling it down here.
right. Trying to hold
Um,
in your hand, shaking like, bleh.
yep. But then I also have, this is Alluvion.
Mm.
Alluvion is fabulous because both ends vibrate and they can vibrate independently. And
Oh,
this end is
okay.
insertable. So this
Wow.
can be inserted, and
So many
Alluvion warms
ideas for
up.
that.
So many ideas for this one. So this one is New Sensuel's Bullets. So like I said, and this, you know, amazing silicone, nice hand feel. I think this was this was their platinum cured silicone. So the same,
Oh,
very
okay.
nice hand feel. But yeah, definitely. Let me know if you have any questions, Sammie,
I
text me.
absolutely will.
I'll take care of that. But yeah, so that's where they can find me, and
Love it.
go from there.
Yeah, we'll make sure to put all the links in the
Yeah.
episode notes. So yeah, Holly, this has
Yeah.
been absolutely phenomenal and educational and sexy, all
Yes.
three at once. So chef's kiss.
Yay.
Yeah, I will see you at New Jersey, and
Thank
we will
you.
definitely be talking soon.
Okay, awesome. Have a
You
good
have a great
one.
weekend.
Thanks,
Bye
you
bye.
too. Oh, have a
Oh,
clitorific day. Have a
clitorific.
clitorific day. I know, right? I'm like, oh, I
That's
always forget to say that at
genius.
the end. Have a clitorific day.
See, stay safe and
See?
stay slutty. That's me. Thank you,
Okay,
Holly.
dear. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye.
And as promised, I'm sure she mentioned it, but just in case, Holly has given us a lovely promotional code for the show for our listeners. So if you want to get 10% off your purchase, head on over to Sweetly Sassy Toys and use promo code SubSlut10. That's going to get you 10% off your order. Of course, the link will be in the show notes. And I mean, what else can I say about Holly? She is so amazing. Love her to death. Personality, charisma, all that stuff. So yeah, sweetlysassy.com to use that promo code and buy a wand without a gold ring. Or if you like gold, fuck it. Buy one with a gold ring. But go over there and use that promo code today. Thank you again to Holly. Such a sweetheart. And now for our second segment. Yes, I'm getting very hot in this room. I am sweating through my t-shirt. If you want to buy that t-shirt, Suburban Slut Podcast at gmail.com. Send me an email. But now, from Firm Tech, I have the absolute pleasure of welcoming Dr. Elliott. So just for a little background on Dr. E. Someone didn't turn his ringer off. Sorry. Every episode, you know what happens at one point. It's like you guys, girls, they, thems. It's like you're almost waiting for it at this point. Any hoozle. Driven by technology advancements and a growing emphasis on sexual wellness, the sex tech market has exploded on a global scale in recent years. The wearables category has arguably seen the most interesting and compelling growth with products that do things that help alleviate pain during penetration. Others use AI to map changes in the pelvic floor, and innovations like FirmTech's award-winning Tech Ring, the first smart intimacy wearable of its kind, enhances pleasure while improving cardiac health. Dr. Justn's, and that's Dr. Elliott Justn, but he's Dr. Elliott to me, we're old friends. Dr. Justn's expertise extends far beyond the FirmTech brand. With a background in emergency medicine, he is all too aware of cardiac health and is driven by an understanding of how sexual and heart health are linked. Yes, thank you, email. That's heart health, not hard health. My God. There's a blooper for you. Dr. Justn's work has been featured in top-tier outlets like the New York Times, CNN, and Forbes. His ability to make complex topics accessible and engaging, coupled with his deep expertise in sexual and cardiac health, make him a sought-after voice in the medical community. And yes, Dr. Justn, my God, so easy to talk to, so knowledgeable. So please, a round of applause, if you will. help me welcome Dr. Elliott Justn to the show. If you're clapping right now, good boy, good girl, good they, good them. Proud of you. But enjoy my conversation with Dr. Elliott Justn. Tonight, we have a very special house guest, slutties. It is my absolute pleasure to host Dr. Elliott Justn, MD, FACEP, the CEO and founder of Firm Tech. Doctor, welcome to the neighborhood.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for making time. I've been really excited for this interview and to learn some more about sex tech, because to age myself, back in my day, it was like vibrators that would actually pulsate was the big thing. And now, I mean, geez, we are like astronauts nowadays.
Yeah. And to my mind, sex tech, I mean, our mission at Firm Tech briefly is better sex and longer lives and lovemaking for everyone. And how do we want to accomplish that? We want to provide men and women using smart wearables with objective, actionable, and most importantly, personal data about the status of their sexual health. So ideally, they can avoid problems or address or when they have problems, better management with data. But we also want to improve upon the forms of sex toys. So in order to optimize people's performance and pleasure. So to my mind, sex tech kind of breaks down to two areas, at least on the male side. There's things that are just novelties. Hey, Sammie, you and I are lovers, and right now we have vibrating butt plugs in, and we're watching genre porn, and we're sending, even while we're talking to each other, we're playing with each other's, we're teasing each other's prostate at long distance. That's a toy to my mind. That's to my mind. And I think those things are fun, but we are more on the sexual wellness health side of this subject. And when it comes to men's and women's two favorite organs that they don't want, that if they're going to be truthful, the penis and the clitoris. Right now, there are no ways other than our technology of assessing their health, and their health is a key to we're giving people the vital signs of their most vital organ. In addition to which, the penis and the clitoris are both extremely sensitive to cardiovascular disease. Why is that?
Really?
Because the heart they both are dependent upon blood flow in order to work. So when it comes to decreased cardiac output or arterial insufficiency, the heart's a pump.
Yes.
And obviously people can have problems with the pump due to myocarditis, angina, heart attacks, just the heart failure. And then you have these pipes coming out in the arteries that can narrow due to diabetes, hypertension, atherosclerosis. And the arteries to the penis and the clitoris are very sensitive to these changes because these arteries are very small. So you're going to see changes in blood flow into the penis and the clitoris before you see changes in your heart. So interestingly,
wow.
And I was ignorant about this 4 years ago. I didn't know about this, but that's really how I got into this. I got into this because a urology professor about 4 years ago at the University of Utah told me he wanted to count the number of nocturnal erections that men have, because the penis of the canary in the coal mine of cardiovascular health as well as sexual health. And that kind of took me back because we know about morning wood and we laugh about it, but morning wood is not enough. A healthy man has 3 to 5 nocturnal erections per night, and they should be lasting 35 to 40 minutes. And they should be about a 6 in firmness, at least on average on a 110 firmness scale. If they're not, you probably have a problem. So that's how I get into this.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I was going to say, because I know you spend your days at the intersection of erections and emergency medicine. So what surprised you the most when you stepped from the ER into sex tech?
Well, there were a couple of steps in between. So for many years, I ran emergency departments and worked in emergency departments. I think I probably took care of about 108,000 patients in my life.
Wow.
And short of a heart attack or a stroke, there are a few emergencies that concern a man as much as they consistently limp dick. As a matter of fact, I think a man has been limp a few times in a row. Maybe shouldn't be allowed to drive a car above the speed limit. Because we're just so much of our self-esteem, so much of our happiness is revolves around that. And women, it's pretty close for women as well too. So in between, emergency medicine got me interested in remote patient management technologies. And so what information can we give people at home so ideally they can prevent problems from occurring, and if they do occur, they can get early signals before they become too difficult to treat. And this device that we all have today is smarter than every
Good old
doctor in
cell
the world
phone.
for 99.5% of our problems. And this is actually how we should access healthcare for most problems, but we're not allowed to because the nature of the healthcare system hasn't grown up to the point where they would actually empower us with a smart device to take care of an ankle sprain or urinary tract infection or yeast infection or an STI, whatever. So, and that's unfortunate. So I got involved. I founded a telehealth company, which I've since sold, kind of like Teladoc, and that got me interested in remote patient management technologies. And I became a consultant between the doctors who had an idea for a device, the engineers who wanted to overbuild it, take forever to build it, and the investors who want to build as quickly as possible and take it to market before addressing regulatory concerns. And so this doctor challenged me 4 years ago, way of counting the number of nocturnal erections. I already was, a relative expert in this area. So his idea was to embed sensors into a condom ring-like form factor.
Okay.
And a condom ring form factor that 8 times the elasticity of a condom ring because he and his team were concerned about strangulation effect. And I pointed out to him that 2 things are wrong with condom rings. One, they don't strangle. You can go to any gas station in the United States, and there's no one in the box says if you wear this overnight, your dick's going to fall off.
Right.
So they were addressing a need that they had addressing a problem that really wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was the condom rings break. So when he gave me this challenge, my thought was, how do I count nocturnal erections overnight and comfortably? Because the problem with cock rings, you've used a cock ring ever? You must have.
Oh yeah, I have a few.
So
delightful.
I'm looking for one down here. There's one of that. The problem with cock rings is that they suck in terms of design. The standard cock ring is an O shaped device. It's made out of hard silicone. You have to put it over your dick. You have to, for it to be really effective, you have to have an erection because they block the arterial flow in. So you have to have an erection.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to them. I happen to like the oxball sling product.
It's pretty good.
But it's not comfortable in the sense that after 15 to 20 minutes, you're cutting off the circulation, and after 35 or 40 minutes, you want the damn thing off.
Oh,
as soon as you have an orgasm, you got to dig your fingers in and pop the thing off.
Yep.
That cringe moment, I've used. I've been using erection rings for a long time, and unlike most straight guys, because gay, 90% of gay men use erection rings regularly, and only 10% of straight guys do. The gay guys are onto something.
Yeah.
But the pinch, like I said, they've been poorly designed. So our rings are made out of elastomer on purpose, because elastomer it stretches more.
Oh wow!
And so you can't do this. By the way, if you're big on this, you got a problem. No one wants to have sex with you.
You got a different problem if you're
if that's your girth,
right?
You could need to go to the animal kingdom. But the problem with the oxballs in those devices is that they cut off the circulation. This is designed.
They stretch a little, but it's tight. Yeah.
To allow the arterial blood, snaps back, arterial blood to flow in. So worn overnight, it doesn't cut off the arterial circulation. It just kind of prolongs by a few minutes your nocturnal erections. It would prolong them by long if you had stimulation, but you don't because you're asleep. So, and then ours open and close with this safety feature that's unique. We've actually patented.
Oh.
A hook. I was scratching my wife's back after she took off her bra. I was sick. I'd say probably half the heterosexual sex in the world probably starts every night when a guy is scratching his wife's back. Why does she want her back scratched when her bra comes off? Because the back band of the bra has silicone in it, and silicone pulls on the skin. It's a little bit irritating to the skin.
Okay.
So they want the back scratched, and then hey, hopefully leads to sex afterwards.
Hopefully.
But I saw a bra on the ground, and the bra opens and closes the hook, and the bra is essentially a ring.
Yes.
Women don't put on bras over the head and open and close with a hook.
Oh. Oh,
So
okay,
my
okay.
thought was, why don't we start making, I don't like calling cock rings, I like calling erection rings. Why don't I start making an erection ring that opens and closes the hook? And now it becomes both an easy on feature, easy on, easy off feature, and a safety feature. So having come up with a way of counting the number of nocturnal erections, I then real my second this data is life saving potentially
Right.
people. We've had men get cardiac catheterization because the data was so poor, and we've had men who are going to get penile implants not get them because the data was good. I mean, the problem was in their
Oh,
head. So the
yeah.
device can really distinguish between psychogenic and physical ED. But the device also, from my perspective, and we have data to confirm this. One, it's safe to be worn for hours if you want. I wish I could have sex for hours at my age. I'm 73, but I certainly like to have sex more than 15 and 20 minutes
Oh, absolutely.
comfortably. So there are 3 papers comparing the ring to 10 milligrams of tadalafil, Cialis, more commonly prescribed
Yeah.
PD-5 medications, showing that the ring itself is more effective in many men than the pills.
Wow.
But both together are the optimizers. So for
True.
all your sluts out there, if you're a
Yep.
man and you want to optimize your performance, you want to do 2 things. You want to get more blood in, and the PD-5 medications, Viagra and Cialis being the biggies in the field, they put a little more blood in, but they don't keep it there. And most men's problems
Okay.
is not getting blood in, it's keeping blood in. And a ring will do that. So the ring, and the takeaway from men we've documented 240,000 plus erections on close to 5,000 men. The takeaway from men is if you want to optimize your performance, put a ring on it first,
Put a
and if
ring on it.
necessary, take a pill. Now the data is life saving because
Mhm.
do you know how we doctors define erectile dysfunction? You know what the official definition is?
I do not know.
Okay, so this comes from the International Society for Sexual Medicine. The first clause, inability or difficulty getting erection.
Okay.
Well, if that's any men listening to this, that's a problem. That's real erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
And that's about 12 to 13% of men who say they have ED. These are men whose pumps are not working well and or the arteries are not sending enough blood down the pipes, or they
Gotcha.
could have a diabetic problem or primary urological problem. If any guys listening to this struggle to get an erection and not because you're drunk, you need to see a doctor.
Not whiskey dick, no.
No, that's more likely not going to be a medical problem.
No doubt.
But the second part of the clause is difficulty maintaining an erection.
Okay.
Well, that's very different because if a guy's getting hard, he's getting blood in. His primary problem is not going to be helped by taking a pill. His primary problem is keeping blood in, and that's all.
Right.
That's all men. Sammie, I'm probably like 30 years older than you. I'm guessing by looking at you. I'm 73, but all men suffer. All men, as we get older, we lose our erections faster than we did when we were young.
I thought you said bald men. I'm like, whoa, why are we talking about bald men now? Hold on a second.
No, old men.
Oh man, I got you.
Old men. No, that's a bold men. Old men.
Yeah.
You're 12, 13 years old. Someone turns you on, and you're hard for an hour and a half. It doesn't happen to you anymore. And it's multifactorial. And one of the causes is trouble with maintaining erection is it's some sort of distraction. Hey, the baby crying in the next room. You're worried about paying the mortgage. You and your partner had a fight earlier in the day. We're adults. We have a lot on our mind. You're 15 years old. It's hard to lose an erection. You have nothing on your mind other than getting off. By age 30, you start having things on your mind. It's easy. And, so it could be your partner says something to irritate you in the middle of sex. Whatever it is, something psychological happens and blood leaves the penis. Well, the ring fights that because if you have an erection, you put a ring on it, you're hard. Your partner can call you an asshole. You're still going to be hard.
Right.
Take the ring off, partner calls you an asshole, you're going to lose your erection. Yeah. And there's alcohol. And one of the great things about erection rings is that they can compensate to some degree. I mean, I know that with our rings, I can have a third cocktail or maybe drink 2/3 of a bottle of wine myself and still perform. But then there are the drugs that we doctors prescribe that are cock killers, antidepressants, antihypertensives. They have a negative impact on sexual performance. So rings are really valuable.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, so my biggest thing, you said a little bit earlier about the standard cock rings, is after like 15, 20 minutes, you look down, it's like, oh God, okay, that looks red, it's swollen, like it's not attractive. I look down, I'm like, oh God, no, no. So with the erectile rings, does it have that same effect, or because it's not as tight, it's more supportive? You don't get that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, you have blood flow?
you'll get more reddish or purple. I mean, the longer you leave it on for
True.
sex,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen overnight because overnight there's no stimulation, and
Oh, okay. I see. I
so
see.
overnight when you have a nocturnal erection, and no one knows why this happens, the sympathetic nervous system turns off, which means you have unopposed parasympathetic. Sympathetic blocks erections. That's the fight flight part of your
Mhm.
uh, nervous system. The parasympathetic system is more about the processes we can't control, gastrointestinal, bladder, et cetera, and sex. So the
Mhm.
if the parasympathetic nervous system is not opposed, you get an erection.
Okay.
And then for some reason, 35, 40 minutes later, it reverses. The sympathetic nervous system turns off and the parasympathetic system is resisted and you lose the nocturnal erection. So having a prolonged erection at night is not a problem. Now, yeah, but with the other rings, it's not as they're not as tight as
Yeah.
as the conventional rings. You'll still get a little bit reddish purple, but it
But
doesn't
it's
you don't
not
get
like,
that
oh my
pain.
God.
You don't get that I
Yeah.
got to get this thing off soon.
Right. That, oh, I'm done.
Like,
I'm done. Get it off.
let me try to get off as quickly as possible because
Yeah.
which I would experience with like the Oxballs product. I liked it. I felt it was the best
Mhm.
in terms of its grip. But
Yeah.
also after 25, 30 minutes, it actually started to interfere with my ability to sometimes even to get it off
Really?
because it's tight.
Oh, I could see
I-
that. Yeah. I
And I
just
don't
always
get
get,
that. The ring that we designed specifically for all of our rings work for sex because they all can be adjusted to the loop. They all can be tightened. But the Max PR, Max Performance Ring, is specifically designed for sex.
Mhm.
And you can we do have some guys who are a bit on the big side, and what they do is if they get that, hey, I'm getting too red, they just unhook it, let the blood
Yeah.
flow back in again, and just rehook it. So you can really, we say 90 minutes, but I know from personal experience that you can play with it even for longer than that if you're so inclined. So
Yeah.
our rings have been used, and we've sold about 30,000 of the non-tech rings and 5,000 plus the tech rings. We've had zero complications report to us. Not even a
Wow.
rash. Not even no
That's
visits to the
impressive.
doctors, no medications, no priapism. Uh, the device is really, really safe.
Yeah, and I wanted to circle back to something from the beginning because I work in the healthcare field on the back end. I do claims and all that stuff, so I see the jargon and everything for like 20 years. But when you were talking about the tech, the sharing of the biometrics, right? I feel like I always say that wrong. What is the prevention of them allowing companies to gather and use that data? Are they afraid of like PHI or, information being leaked if it's going from like a tech device to a phone or?
We don't, we're cyber secure. We have
Yes.
our own cyber secure policies. We're using Amazon's web services as to hold the data.
Oh, okay.
Amazon Web Services is used by hospitals and
Yep, they sure are.
around the world. All the data is anonymized, so yeah, we can use your data, anyone's data for research purposes, but it's all anonymous. I mean, there's only two people in
Yeah.
the company who have access to the data. We have a HIPAA contract,
Oh, yeah.
a privacy contract. So, and I'm one, and our head of tech is the other. I don't. I've never looked at anyone's data without their permission. And I
Mhm.
know that Riley, who's our tech guy, has never done that. Our policy is, even though we have a HIPAA policy, we will never look and there, without permission. And there
Of
are in
course.
the United States, there are about 80 doctors now who are getting data from the patients. In the account settings section, you can put your doctor's name in there, and your doctor can get the
Oh,
data.
okay. I haven't gone that deep on my iPhone in a minute. That's I'm like, okay. Yeah, I've never been opposed to that, especially if it's for medical reasons or even with the doctors. Like we have telehealth, but yeah, if I could share biometrics and stuff, I'd be like, here, take it. If it's going to help, I'm good.
Well, I don't think you can really help take care of men's sexual health, frankly, even
Yeah.
the cardiovascular health, without data like ours.
Right.
Because our if I were a cardiologist, I would want to know about a man's sexual health because it's a reflection of his heart health.
Yeah.
But right now, it comes to men's sexual health, we're passing out pills without data. We're
Oh, yeah.
passing out, we're treating men with testosterone with minimal data.
Yep.
When the rest of healthcare, Sammie, if you came to me with a lung problem or a heart problem or a bowel problem, I'd be able to get imaging tests, blood
Hmm.
tests, so I can make your problem objective, so that I can then measure how bad it is. One, I can find out, is there even a problem there whatsoever? Two,
Right.
how bad is it? And three, if I'm going to propose an intervention to you, I want to be able to monitor that intervention objectively. But when it
Mhm.
comes to men's sexual health, there's nothing. So we just
No.
guys go online to get pills.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere
And
now.
yeah, and it's problem, as there's a Dr. Mohit Kara at Baylor University. He's maybe the leader in maybe one of the leaders in the world in men's sexual health. He's a urologist.
Mm.
And he says repeatedly that Viagra is Vicodin. What is it? What does he mean by that? He means
Okay.
that
I could see that.
it's like, you could, if you have pain, you don't just take a narcotic. You want to find out ideally what's causing the pain.
Yeah. What's the root?
Or can I quantify the pain before I take a a narcotic? So, when it comes to men's sexual health, as I said earlier, 12 to 30% of men have a real problem.
Hmm.
And if they take Viagra, they could be masked that problem for a period of time. And the end result is
Oh,
it could be too late. They could have addressed the problem a lot earlier before it became a problem that was too
right.
hard to handle. And most doctors, and certainly, if you go online to get pills, you're not really getting an assessment of your cardiovascular health or your diet or your metabolic diabetes status.
Yeah. No, I tried, what was it? Hims or one of those, like, our Blue Chew. I don't know. Hopefully they're not listening. They won't get mad at me. But I remember, like, I went online after seeing one of those ads and I filled out a questionnaire, and it was bare minimum information. Like, sure, you qualify if you can buy this for this or this for that. I'm like, so that's literally, it was like my name, age, and I can't get erect. And even when I saw my PCP years ago, there was a bout where my testosterone was low and I was kind of like in my feels, but I was having erection problems in my mid 30s. And the second I brought it up to my doctor, like you just said, they literally said, all right, we'll give you Viagra. That'll help. They didn't ask any
Yeah.
other questions. I just said, I'm having trouble getting erections. Boom, here's your prescription. You got insurance. That was it.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And they don't, the key question, of course, is, do you struggle to get it up, or do you get it up and then lose it? And then why?
Yeah.
They're, we get the healthcare that we bill for, not necessarily the healthcare that we want or need.
Absolutely.
What do we most want from doctors?
Pills,
Is
meds.
advice. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you have a heart attack or you've broken your thigh bone, that's very different. But in
Oh,
general,
yeah.
what people most want from doctors is advice. And what do managed care and Medicare pay for advice? Reimburse? Nothing. So what
Yep.
people most want, they don't get. And the more so what do we do as doctors? We bring you in, and we need to come up with a diagnosis that has what's called a CPT code, a billing code attached to it.
That's my
So
wheelhouse.
there are two diagnoses in this area. Two diagnoses in this area. One diagnosis is erectile dysfunction, and the
Mhm.
other is hypogonadal.
Yes.
So your you at that time when you had this problem, you might, I'll just I'll say man X goes to a doctor. Well, he could just be looking for pills,
True.
but and lie to the doctor, and that's common, or exaggerate one way or the other. His doctor, there's nothing in the electronic health record that prompts his doctor, as part of a general physical review systems, to ask about sex. It's not even there. Genitourinary is there. We're supposed to ask questions about your bladder, but for example, in Epic or Allscripts, the kind of big, you're familiar with them, certain big.
God, I hate Epic.
electronic health
That's what I
records.
work with.
They're just billing machines, and there's nothing
that's it.
in there about sexual health for a doctor to ask. If there was a box that to check, maybe they have the integrity to ask the questions. Although often they just lie.
You would hope.
They check the box anyway. But They don't. So if you tell a doctor you have a problem, they have no incentive, and they're not being educated by the computer to ask certain
Nope.
questions. Like, "Hey, Sammie, you say you have ED. Is it getting it up, or is it keeping it up? Is it alcohol
Right.
related? What is it when you're masturbating? Do you have the problem versus when you're having sex with a partner with a problem? Is
See?
it with particular? There's so many. There are probably like 8 or 9 questions that should be asked at that
Yeah.
point.
A little more
Hey,
investigation.
do you have a discharge? Have you ever had prostatitis? Have you ever are you how sexually active are you? There are a lot of questions that they should ask, and to your point, they don't ask. So
Nope.
here's my experience. Because a few years ago, I just and I don't go to doctors. Oh, I am one because I'm knowledgeable, but also I don't trust them. I've been part of the system myself, and I'm skeptical.
Fair,
So I
fair.
go to the doctor for my Medicare internist. He's actually a family doctor,
Mhm.
and I tell him, things aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
'Cause, Uh, and he says, "Oh well, I'll get you a prescription for some tadalafil." That's it.
There you
No
go.
questions asked. And
Nope.
then I said,
Here's your script.
so I'm also, but I'm also interested. I said I'm also interested in getting testosterone. And he says, "Well, are you still sexually active?" I said, "I am. I am." He says, "Well, how often a week?" I'd say most days. He says, you don't have a problem then." And I said, "I'd like to can you at least get a blood test?" So we
Yeah.
get a
Check
blood
the
test.
actual level.
Yeah, at that time I was probably 71 or 70, and
Okay.
my level was like 380. Well, the cutoff for Medicare is 240, as I recall. So
Oh.
he says he's not going to prescribe testosterone. So I go now because I want to experience the pain that people experience ordinarily. I go off to my Medicare urologist, Medicare covered urologist in town here. And then he repeats the blood test. And now I'm 340. Well, there's really no difference between 340 and 380. It could just be a lab
Yeah.
variant. But he says, okay, well, if you're 340, we can push it, but you got to answer these 3 questions.
Okay.
Here are the magic so what he wants to diagnose me, not just as
Mm.
having ED, but as being hypogonadal.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
that's the diagnosis, and then he can get 4 visits a year covered by Medicare, and by the way, 2 of which are telehealth, and he never shows up for them, by the way, but 2 of them are telehealth. And Medicare D will pay for some percentage of my
Yeah.
my medications. So he says the first question is, how's your energy? Well, I'm actually a high energy guy, but of course I say, it's not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Check. How's your sleep? Well, now I can tell the truth. I'd like to sleep another hour a day. I'm like a 6 hour
Oh,
night
hell
guy.
yeah.
Oh, well, death, check. How's your libido? What the fuck does libido even mean? Because it's not quantifiable.
True.
Libido. Well, hey, it's not what it was. Hey, believe me, it ain't what it was when I was 15 years old.
Oh,
So,
God, no.
so he, so now I'm on testosterone. But what does he do? He targets. Um, he says, well, I want to get your total T up to 600, 700,
Yeah. It's a good amount.
and Medicare doesn't pay for free tea. It's extra. So
Oh.
he says, I said, what are my free tea? So we're just going to calculate it. Well, the calculation is your free tea, which is the important number because that's the testosterone that's actually available, is 2 to 4% of what your total T is. Well,
Okay.
if your I'll make up a number. If your total T now after injecting is say 600, well, 2% of 600 is 12, and 4% of 600 is 24. Well, what is
Mhm.
my free T? Because I want my free T ideally to be above 20. We don't know what it is unless we actually get the test. And if my
Oh.
estradiol is elevated, it's going to be lower. And if my binding globulin is high, it's going to be lower. So I want excuse me, I want my damn
Oh,
free
you're
T.
good.
Yeah, I want my free T, and
Right.
I have to pay for it. So so when I'm taking
Wow.
care of men with testosterone, I'm not motivated. I take care of people for free. I want to make money from the business. I don't
Of
want to make
course.
money off taking care of men. For men, I actually want to learn in order to improve what we're doing with the tech ring, what we're doing with that data. I want to learn. So I'm taking care of quite a few men. And my goal for free T is at least 20, but I really would like to get them around 30 plus because I want to optimize them. I don't want to
Yeah.
have an average free T I want to be the 90th percentile. I want to be an A minus at least. So
Oh, hell yeah.
so that's how, when I take care of men, I
Mhm.
want them to use our tech ring, because a tech ring, I can say,
Okay.
what's your nocturnal blood flow? Because I want to see if testosterone is increasing the nocturnal blood flow. And
Right.
two, so guys who are low T will have less nocturnal erections, and nocturnal erections won't be as firm.
Mhm.
Um, for me, it's not about libido. The question I ask men is, how often a week are you initiating sex? How often a week are you receptive to
That's a good
sex?
one. That's a good
And what's your
question.
goal? Because now these are quantifiable points. Now, obviously, if a guy tells me, "Hey, Sammie, you want to have sex? You want to be initiating sex 30 times a week?" I'm sorry, dude, that ain't happening.
No.
I can tell by the fact you're bald and have a great gray beard that you're
Yeah.
never going to be 15 years old again. That ain't happening.
Hell no.
Uh, and when it comes to receptivity, that's an important question for men. Women are more receptive to sex than men are because they have to put up with men.
True.
Uh, and gays don't have this issue,
No.
but the receptivity for men is actually a key question, because it's an indication of their confidence. Because a man who's sexually confident, if in other words, you've optimized his free T, and ideally, of
Mhm.
course, he's using a ring so he's confident he's not going to lose his erection.
Right.
That changes their attitude towards receptivity. Because one of the things that women complain commonly about men, I mean, women in any relationship, but especially in a committed relationship, is when I initiate sex, he comes up and he makes excuses because he's got
Oh
confidence, because
yeah.
he's got
Been
confidence
there.
issues. I'm tired at work,
Long day,
kids, long
stress.
day, blah blah blah. And next, but when I've noticed that when I optimize someone's free testosterone, and have them use an erection ring as well,
Mhm.
they're more receptive. I am too. I've experienced that in my own marriage, and now it's objective. Now, in my expectation, I'll just pick on a guy, one of my patients slash customers,
Sure.
43 years old. Uh, he says he's talking about libido. I'm not initiating sex the way I did 5 to 7 years ago, and my wife isn't happy. I used to be initiating sex 3 or 4 times a week, and she felt loved, and things were good. And now I'm
Yeah.
initiating sex maybe once a week, or 3 times every 2 weeks, and it's not what I want. I'm not what I want for myself, or what I want for my marriage, or what I want for her. And then these guys have T's in like the 200s. They got the T's
Oh.
T's of old men, and
Yep.
they're nocturnal erections a week. And when you start to right dose their testosterone, and give it, and look, and take tadalafil, Cialis, and put a ring on it, because you want to optimize, things get a lot better for them. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks, but things get a lot better
Yeah.
for them.
Wow, that's amazing. Definitely. Um, and I had something else here. I know it's been such a wonderful, just free form discussion. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
I want to make
sorry,
sure we get
I've
all
been
of our
talking
key
at length.
points.
Yeah.
No, you're amazing by for sure. So let me just see. And of course, I always tell my audience, like, hey, we are human. We read through questions. We make it fun though. Now you were saying with the tech devices, so the Ring is just one. So you do have other products that include the more high tech end. So
Yeah, that's
what
that's
what
the
are the
that's the tech ring. The tech ring
oh that
has
is okay.
yeah, it has sensors built. The maximum performance ring was specifically built to be equal to or better than tadalafil, and to work with it
Now I gotcha.
synergistically.
Thank you.
We have a device. This is the ring mate. This is a
Oh,
vibrator that goes on and off any of our devices. My wife invented it for hands-free pleasure during intercourse
oh
for
yeah.
women, on top or on the bottom. But it also functions as a thing, a vibrator.
Right.
And frankly, and that's how we often use it, because if you're having sex from behind, reaching around and get
Yep.
and rubbing the clitoris can be difficult,
Oh yeah.
uncomfortable in the wrist for both, for women as well too.
Yeah, that
When you have
awkward
this on your
angle.
fingers, yeah, when you have this on your fingers, it's well,
That's a lot easier.
now you're Superman. I don't know about
Yeah.
you, Sammie, but my fingers don't vibrate. The
No,
other thing
I
that
wish they did. They tingle.
the other thing that we do with this is we just put it all the way in the vagina. And why
Okay.
why is that? Well, now it's a toy for men, because now the head of your, I don't know about any female partners you've ever had, but I suspect none of them have vibrating vaginas. Now now the head of your most sensitive part of your penis is against the vibrator, and that's
Oh.
that's fun.
That's phenomenal. So, for listeners to be able to go see these products and see all the fun stuff we are talking about, where would they go to check out the products,
Sure.
questions, purchases?
But you go to myfirmtech, MYFIRMIR, myfirmtech.com. And
Mhm.
or you can contact me at Elliott, ELLIOT, at myfirmtech.com. But just bear in mind, I get into this for the data, to look at help men in bad health. But
Right.
we're also a lot of us a lot of us are interested, myself included, probably you too. I'm interested in prevention. I want to see
Yeah.
signs of problems before they become problems. And you can't really, whether you want prevention or whether you want help with management, you can't really hack it unless you can track it.
Right.
You
It's
want
like with
data.
the Yeah, it's like with the car. If your car's starting to make a noise, go check it out and prevent it. Don't wait until, well, my fucking engine blew and now my car is trash. What can you do? Well, nothing. You
Yeah,
waited too long.
I like the car analogy because we're
Yeah.
all on the road from erectile fitness to erectile dysfunction,
Mm,
men and women, and we all would like to know, where am I on that road? I mean, I wouldn't, drive anywhere and put tape over my dashboard. But
there
when
you
it comes
go.
to sexual health, we are all of us right now, unless you're using a wearable like ours, we're
Right.
all of us driving blind. And we don't, and so it's no wonder that crashes and breakdowns occur to men because they have no data. Because the reality is it takes, yeah, in order, when it takes a long time for your penis not to work. You
Yeah.
know?
It's not
Uh,
just overnight, like, oh shit.
right,
No.
exactly. But when you start looking at your waveforms, and we have notifications, we educate people. The device has education built in, built into it.
Hmm.
You'll see changes. I mean, I'll just pick on myself. I know that if I drink heavily, I wipe out my nocturnal erections. Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't want to do that on a regular basis. And the device has actually kind of educated me to drink less, especially before I go to bed. I was taking a blood pressure medication that made my erections 15, 20% less hard. Well, why would I do that? I mean, I didn't know,
Mm,
I'd say I didn't notice it. I probably wouldn't notice it till I knocked up another 10, 20%. But why
right.
would I take a medication that's decreasing blood flow? If I'm decreasing blood flow in my penis, I'm decreasing blood flow in my heart. I'm decreasing blood flow in my brain. Because
See?
blood flow in my kidneys. It's not as if it's selective decrease of blood flow. So uh, the data is really valuable. And
True.
and also most men, when it comes to performance, most men don't really have dysfunction. They just have a problem. And the problem is blood's leaving the penis faster, and the answer is a ring. We've actually
Mm,
medicalized something that's just common with aging. I'll pick on you for a moment, Sammie.
sure.
Sammie, do you run as fast now as you did when you were 20 years old?
No. These knees at 46? No.
Sammie, you have RD, running dysfunction.
The
And I have a
gasp.
whole, and if we can get a CPT code for running dysfunction, I would have a whole, you need to see a physical therapist and you need to wear these special shoes and here's an
Hmm.
exercise regimen, here's supplements. But we don't medicalize most of the aging process in so many ways.
Yeah.
But when it comes to sex, we have, and who benefits from that? Pharma and doctors.
Hmm.
We don't,
Absolutely.
we don't benefit.
Wow, Doc, that was truly amazing. Now I know we did the websites. Is the company or products, is there any socials like the Instagram, the Twitter,
Yeah,
MySpace, any of that?
you can find me on LinkedIn. Just put in Dr. Elliott Justn, MD. You'll find me. You can find
Perfect.
us on Instagram at FirmTech. We're online. I'm thinking TikTok with FirmTech as well. We're not very active in FirmTech.
Oh,
We're
TikTok's
most active
hard.
in Instagram.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely make sure to put those in our show notes. And yeah, I know you have another appointment coming up soon. So I was watching the clock to make sure we're right on time. So we're good. But yeah, I hope to have you again on the show to talk more stuff. But thank you for your time and education. And yeah, we will definitely be catching up with you soon.
Sammie, put a ring on it.
And what can I say? Such an awesome time. So good to have him on. And again, shout out to Sweetly Sassy. Shout out to Lewan. Shout out to Lovens. Shout out to Hitachi. Everybody. This should have been a wand episode and cock rings and wands, Suburban Slut Podcast. But any hoozles. So please make sure to go to our links. Please make sure to use our discount codes and help live that best slut life possible. Upcoming content. Boys, girls, ladies, thems. There's a lot. I don't have the list in front of me, but we have plenty of guests coming up. Plenty of more guests to come. And you're going to have to find me on other shows soon, too. I have 2 interviews myself coming up for other podcasts. I have content coming, so please stay tuned. The Slut Summer 26 rolls on. Pride rolls on. Let's fucking make it gay and fun. Let's have a slutty-ass summer. But as always, my darlings, just like that, my sweet slutties, our night together has come to an end. Make sure you have all your things before you head out. And thanks for coming over. Don't worry about picking up. I will clean up. You get home safe. Text when you get home. But don't you worry. Come back anytime. I'll leave a light on for you and maybe even the door unlocked. As always, from the Suburban Slut Podcast, please remember, pleasure is personal, consent is sexy, and curiosity keeps it fun. Stay safe and stay slutty. Bye-bye. Did I hit end? No. It's still recording? Shit! Hit end.
No need to knock, the door's unlocked. Come on in, let's have some fun. We'll make it hot, won't wanna stop. Slide on into Suburban Slut. No need to knock, the door's unlocked. Come on in, let's have some fun. We'll make it hot, won't wanna stop. Slide on into Suburban Slut.